Hi dear, what if I told you that you can get more exclusive and more exciting content? You can become a hokage in a hidden village of lonely kunoichi. For that, you just need to go to my boosty. The link will be in the description.
It was an exhausting morning for our hero because Jiraiya was busy with his so-called research, and Naruto was training alone in outer region of a forest. It was second week of his training trip with Jiraiya, and he was working hard to become stronger so that he can return and protect his precious people in Konoha. It was true that he succeeded in bringing the traitorous Uchiha back to the village. We all know who this traitor is, right? After a long fight at the Valley of the End, which resulted in a very exhausted Naruto and a half-dead Sasuke, the Uchiha prodigy. Now Sasuke was a Chunin and was always under Anbu's sight. Tsunade never tried to stop Naruto as she knew that this trip was very important for the future of both Naruto and Konohagakure no Sato. Now, it was clear that Naruto was overexerting himself as sweat was clearly visible on his forehead, and his muscles were twitching under the pressure of the Nine Tails chakra cloak. Naruto was trying to control third-tailed state of Demon Fox's cloak and had nearly completed it. Suddenly that damn fox took over. His muscles started to scream under the tremendous strain and his skin started to peel, resulting in his blood to flow in the cloak and turn it from bright red to crimson in color. His eyes that were red with black slits before now turned pure white, and even his fangs and claw turned blood red. A disturbance occurred at the end of his spine, and slowly but surely another tail started to grow and join the three already present. He entered fourth-tailed state and lost control over his body. Soon Naruto found himself in the sewer of his subconscious mind where the cage of Kyuubi was situated. Naruto got angry on seeing Kyuubi grinning like a madman inside cage. Having enough of the stupid fox, he became more furious and said, "Oi, you damn fox! What are you grinning at? Just give me the control of my body back and I will not hurt you." Kyuubi roared and said, "You damn fool! Who are you, mortal to talk to me like that? The great Kyuubi no Kitsune." Naruto said, fuming, "I am your jailer, dumb SS fox. Like you can even touch me, insect, ha 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 ha. I can crush you with just a claw of mine and you will start screaming for mercy due to the pain." Kyuubi said, "Oh yeah? Then why don't you try killing me now? Let's see how you kill me when I am on this side of the seal baka fox. Enough, now you know why you are still alive, kid. Just because if you die I die does not mean I cannot harm you and you can't even dare to cross this cage bars." "He cannot cross the cage bars, but I can. Right, Kurama?" A voice came from behind Naruto. Naruto turned around surprised, unconsciously stumbling back to the Kyuubi's cage. On realizing where he was and what the fox could do to him, he looked in fear at Kyuubi's face. Kyuubi was looking in the direction of the mysterious figure with narrowed eyes. What Kyuubi did next surprised even Naruto as it used one of its tails and pulled Naruto in the middle of its front paws. The tail then wrapped around Naruto in a protective manner. From the dark side of the mindscape, an old man with magantas all over his clothing stepped out of the dark. Smiling, Kyuubi's eyes widened and he whispered to himself, "SS Sage." This was noticed by Naruto, and noticing the stutter in Kyuubi's voice, he asked the old man, "Hi old man, you seem to have quite an effect on this baka of a fox. Why is it stuttering in front of you? And who are you? And how did you get here in my mind?" And calm down, Naruto, my boy. You can ask all of your questions one by one. There is no need to ask all of them in one breath. After all, none of us is in a hurry, right? The old man said, smiling at Naruto. "Okay, so first thing first. Who are you?" asked Naruto. "Have you ever heard about the Sage of Six Paths, father of all shinobi, jutsus, and of course bijus?" asked the old man. "I have, but I don't know much as I never paid much attention to history or theory lectures in academy," answered Naruto, a bit confused and ashamed to his confession. "Well, I am that sage. The Sage of the Six Paths, the great Sannin of all times and also father of Kurama, or as you call him, Kyuubi." Naruto turned his at Kyuubi and started grinning at the greatest biju. Finally he said, "I found your father Kyuubi. Now I will make him punish you for your behavior towards me and Konoha." The Sannin laughed a little while Kyuubi just stared at Naruto, ready to kill him just by staring. Now, I am here to give you a gift. Something from me on your 14th birthday, little Naruto. said the Sannin. Now Naruto remembered that today was October 10th, his 14th birthday. He quickly asked, "What is this gift? Please tell me, what is it?" "It is the first gift I will ever get on my birthday." The Sannin said, "First, I am here because you're entered fourth-tailed state of your Biju cloak, and yes, there is a gift for you. I have been watching you for some time. Your battle at the Valley of End was really breathtaking. So I decided to give you my eyes, Naruto." Now Naruto was disgusted. "I don't want your eyes. I have mine, and I don't want to make someone blind because of me." The sage chuckled and said, "No, not like that. I will give your eyes the power of mine. Understood? Now listen closely, young one, as it will be useful in the future when you use my eyes." Naruto immediately sat down and unconsciously pulled Kyuubi's tail around him for warmth, much to the irritation of the said Biju. "It is called Eternal Rinnegan. I used it in making all 9 Bijus and distributing the power of the Jubi. It takes a lot of user's chakra to remain active and leaves the user unconscious for at least a week. But you already have kurama inside of you. This limitation will not act on you." Now Naruto was curious as well as excited. The Sannin continued, "Naruto, these eyes will give you immense power, and you will be able to learn every jutsu just by seeing it once. Even bloodline jutsus and dojutsus like Byakugan and Sharingan better, known as the Kekkai Genkai. All you need to do will be to say the jutsus or dojutsu's name, and you will have it or will be able to perform it with in a heartbeat." Naruto asked, "Are there any side effects because I hate hospital?" he said, pouting. The sage said, "No, there is no side effect of this dojutsu, and I will be training you in your mindscape to control it easily when you will be sleeping, as your body will be resting, and you will be training here with me. Also, I am giving you these scrolls. They contain jutsus and dojutsus I have seen until now that you can read them here in your mindscape, and Kurama will help you with them." "Right, Kurama?" "Hi, father," was the reply of Kyuubi from behind. The Kyuubi was nodding nonstop as he became more and more excited. The Sannin then placed his both hands on Naruto's shoulders and made an eye contact with him and said, "Okay, Naruto. This will hurt a lot, but the pain is worth it. The power that comes with it is beyond your wildest dream. So ready." When Naruto hesitantly nodded, the sage started pouring his chakra in Naruto's eyes. Naruto started screaming with all his might and tried to cry because of pain, but his tears betrayed him as his eyes were not under his control. Finally, his body gave up and he fainted in Sage's arms. After some time, "Arg," was the first thing Naruto muttered after he gained his consciousness. "So you are finally awake, huh? I thought I overdid it." "When you fainted," came the Sennin's voice from behind him. Naruto turned to face the sage and asked, "Is it done?" The Sannin simply nodded and said that your traveling partner is approaching. Tell him everything and only those who you trust. Ask him to teach you sage art and tell that I said that you are ready for it as well as for the secret of your heritage as well. There you are, the first chapter is up. I know this is a small chapter, but as I said in the starting A/N, this is my very first fanfic, so that means this is my very first chapter as well. Also, I will update twice a month, so wait, okay? I said okay. Review, and I am open for advice, and please tell me if you want something in the future chapters. Yane. Return of the New Sage. Disclaimer: I do not own anything. A/N. Alright guys, let's take a step forward in our hero's super story, Invincible Eyes of Sannin. Oh, and don't forget to review this time. Enjoy yourself. Chapter 2. Return of the New Sage. Jiraiya was in a bar, trying to get some material for his latest novel of Ikarika Paradise, when suddenly he felt a huge wave of chakra wash over him. Over all this mess, in was coming from Naruto's direction. Kami, don't tell me, was Jiraiya's thoughts as he sprinted towards Naruto's location. After running for 5 minutes, he reached the corner of forest and saw Naruto in his fourth-tailed state, but something is off. Cubified Naruto was standing there like a statue. Just the 4 tails at his back were swaying peacefully in all directions. Jiraiya knew that maybe Naruto was practicing 4-tailed state, but way so calmly? It was not a trait of Naruto to stay calm, especially while training. So he reached up to him and was about to use chakra suppression seal on him when suddenly all the red chakra vanished and Naruto gained his consciousness. After that, the whole day was spent in explaining everything to Jiraiya, and to Naruto's surprise, Jiraiya believed him instantly. After asking as to why he believed so easily, Jiraiya told him that all the things that Naruto told him were correct, and he knew that was not smart enough to make such kind of story. After hearing this, Naruto pouted, but soon forgot about it as Jiraiya started to tell him about his father, Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage, and his mother Kushina Uzumaki, the Red Death of Konoha. Jiraiya also told him that he will now start teaching him Hiraishin and Sage arts, as he was not an expert in Sage art, and he definitely was not capable of performing Hiraishin, but he knew a lot about Hiraishin. And now, it was Naruto's 16th birthday, and he was now youngest sage ever to walk on Earth. He was now perfect in Hiraishin, thanks to his increased intelligence, and now wore an exact copy of his father's clothes, just that instead of yellow flash on his back, there was a kanji for second yellow flash. He was now awesome looking, as now girls who look at him used to become tomato. Right now, he was on his way to his home village, Konohagakure, with Jiraiya. When they reached the gates of Konoha, the guards fainted on seeing Yondaime return to their village. Naruto paid no attention to them and keep on walking with a stern look on his face, but Jiraiya knew what made the guards to fainted, and he laughed in his head at their reaction towards left to meet for his apartment after saying that he will be at Hokage's office in an hour, or chuckled and started planning his research in Konoha's hot springs. After reaching his apartment, he took a quick shower and decided to pay a visit to Ichiraku's ramen stand. Now, our hero was roaming in the streets of Konoha when he heard something. On turning around, he saw a lot of girls stalking him, and many older women fainted on seeing an exact image of Yondaime in him. Suddenly, he felt a hand on his shoulder, and as he turned, he found himself looking at green eyes of a girl with pink hairs. "Hey, my name is Sakura. I am a kunoichi of Konoha, and as I can see from your hataite, you are a shinobi of Konoha too. Who are you?" "Holy shit, he is as hot as Sasuke-kun," said and thought the girl respectively. On seeing his long-lost crush, he clenched his fists and said, "That's none of your business, Haruno," and continued his walk. "Ha!" was Sakura's response as he left. On his walk, he again started noticing the look of respect given to him by some villagers and some blushes directed towards him. He was almost at Ichiraku when he remembered what happened 3 years ago to make him overcome his crush on Sakura.
Flashback no Jutsu.
It was raining heavily, and Sakura and Kakashi were waiting for Naruto's return. Well, Kakashi was waiting for Naruto, whereas Sakura was waiting for her underskirt. We all know who. As a figure emerged from horizon, after some time they could see that it was Naruto carrying Sasuke on his back. A Chidori wound can be seen on his left side of chest. He was fully exhausted and very much soaked in his own blood. On reaching the gates, Sakura snatched Sasuke from Naruto and started to cry. Only Kakashi came to support Naruto on his legs. "Don't worry, Sakura-chan. He is alive, and stay away from my Sasuke-kun, you demon." "Be but Sakura-chan, I." "Just shut up, you nearly killed my Sasuke-kun. Everyone in the village is right, you are really a true evil demon and I hate you. Never show me your face again, you murderer. You are a shame to our village as well as to all the shinobi of the world. Now get out of here before I ask the council to execute you, bastard." Next day, Naruto was gone his 3-year-long training trip with Jiraiya.
Flashback no Jutsu. Kai.
He was brought back to the real world by Lee and Tenten. Youthful Lee and a blushing Tenten would be more correct. "Hey, you youthful-looking man. I have never seen you in this village. Are a spy or something?" asked Lee, ready to fight at confirmation of his question. "Yeah, we have never seen you before, even when you wear a Konoha Hatai 8, said Tenten now curiously. "But I have seen you both and have spent some time in your company, Lee and Tenten," said Naruto, trying to hide grin. "How do you know our name, you unyouthful spy?" shouted Lee. "Oh, so you forget me, my rival Lee. I see, you have become very beautiful too, Ten-chan," said Naruto, now grinning widely. "Naruto, I don't believe this," said both Chunin in unison. "Oh, now you recognized me. Hey, nice to meet you," said Naruto. "Naruto, you look very youthful, my eternal rival," shouted Lee, bouncing with excitement. "Naruto-kun, you look quite handsome," said Tenten, blushing. "Oh, not this, Ten-chan. I am sick of these. Every woman in the village is either blushing or fainting on seeing me. What happened to the ladies of this village?" said Naruto, confused. Tenten was now hiding her red face in her shirt, and Lee was bouncing and shouting about how his eternal rival is back in the village. "Hey, Naruto-kun, Would you like to come to our little Rookie 9 gathering this evening at Kidatsu Restaurant? You know today is Kyubi Festival, your birthday, so both of us would like to invite you to if you can spare some time for it from your training time. Asked Tenten with a look of hope in her eyes. Of course, how can I deny a request of such a beauty as you, Ten-chan? I will be there, said Naruto, kissing Tenten's hand. Tenten now looked like she took a bath of red water. Maybe blood. Okay. YOSH Naruto, we will wait for you. It will be a surprise for other rookies, okay? Oh, and our former senseis will be there too. Again shouted youthful Lee. After some more conversation, Lee and Tenten left. Well, again a youthful Lee and a blushing red Tenten left will be more appropriate. Naruto went to Ichiraku's and again was forced to see a blushing Ayam and a surprised Tuchi Ichiraku. 1 hour later, Naruto entered Hokage's office with a blushing Shizune behind him. He just encountered Shizune outside the office and got the same reaction from her as the other women of the village. Tsunade and Jiraiya were sitting on Hokage chair and window panel respectively. On seeing him, Tsunade bounced from her chair and nearly hugged him to death by her superhuman strength. Thanks to Jiraiya and Shizune, who somehow managed to separate them from the hug. So in this way the meeting began and lasted for 2 hours as Tsunade and Shizune were trying to extract every single memory of their trip out of their minds, just like Inoichi and Ibiki. In the end, Naruto was receiving glares of astonishment. So he simply went back to his apartment to get ready for the Rookie 9 gathering in the evening. It will be fun to meet everyone again after so long. And of course seeing their faces on seeing me will be awesome. And that's it. Hope you guys like it. Next chapter, the Rookie 9 gathering, will be up soon, so please review this one so that I can get motivation. So until then, Gianni, the Rookie 12 gathering. Disclaimer, I do not own Naruto or any other Shippuden character. /N. Alright guys, this chapter will have Sakura bashing and Major Sasuke bashing, and also, I am making it a harem FIC, so these are the girls I am going to place in the harem. If you want to suggest any other than these, feel free to mention in review. Ino, main pairing. Tamari. Hinata. Tenten. I am. Alright, so, enjoy and please tell me my weak spots. Chapter 3. The Rookie 12 Gathering. Kidatsu Restaurant. There was everyone present there. Kakashi, Asuma, Guy, Kurinai, Anko, surprisingly, Team 10, Team 9, Team 8, and what was remaining of Team 7. They have booked the whole restaurant for the gathering, so you can only see some restaurant staff and some customers who were there to buy some food for their home. Naruto was on his way to the restaurant when he saw that Ayam was struggling to clean the counter before closing, as it was the Kyubi festival night and every citizen was gone in the celebration. He reached up to her and said, Ayam-chan, what a lovely lady like. You is doing this fine evening. It doesn't suit you, you know. Ayam jumped in surprise but some relaxed on recognizing the voice of the new handsome Naruto, whose good looks have occupied her mind from the morning, and she was guessing that she will soon start having wet dreams about him. She turned and said, Oh, it's you, Naruto. I was just cleaning the counter so that we can close for today. You know, today is the Kyubi festival and we know about its relation to you as you told us, so we were going home after closing because we don't feel like celebrating when we know your pain. Naruto was now very happy as he was now around people who cared for him and his feelings, so he made his mind and said, Don't worry, Ayam-chan, I am happy that you take care for me and my feelings, and as a return gift, here you go. With that said, he made 3 kage bunshins and ordered them to clean the shop and then turned to Ayam and said, So, now that you are free, would you like to join me to the Rookie 9 gathering party at Kidatsu Restaurant as my special guest, Ayam-chan? He stretched his arm and looked at her, waiting for an answer. She blushed a bit and said, Sure, and Naruto Keikuin. And with that she hesitantly took his hand and started walking with him. They talked about changes in Konoha when his was gone and what was he doing in these last 3 years out of the village. They reached the restaurant and as they entered, Naruto was tackled by another blonde. Hey hottie, what are you doing here? Said the new blonde female, sitting on his stomach, holding his face and neck. Well, I was invited to our gathering, Ino-chan, and by the look of it I am on time, right? Said Naruto, removing himself from under Ino. Hey, how do you know my name, and who invited you to our gathering? Asked, now confused Ino, as everyone looked up to the new arrivals. Oh, Ino, he knows all of us and I and Lee invited him here, said Tenten from her table at the other side of the restaurant. You, how dare you enter our gathering, Are you stalking me or something? Asked the pink-haired Sakura from Sasuke's side. I am not blind to stalk someone as ugly as you when there are beauties like Ino-chan in this village. Forehead, said Naruto calmly. Ino blushed a bit at being called beautiful by a handsome man like him. Okay. But still, who is this hottie anyway? I never saw him in our village. Instead of he is wearing a Konoha hatai. 8? Asked Ino. Oh, I see. I just left for 3 years and you all forget me, huh? You know that hurts, said Naruto pouting. Ino's eyes grew wide as well as everyone's on recognizing the blonde in front of them. Naruto shouted Ino as she again hugged him tightly. I see you are training under Bachan as your grip is exactly like here. Now will you please release me as I am out of air? He said, struggling to breathe. Ino, realizing it, jumped back from him and started to blush. After some relaxing conversation with everyone, excluding Sasuke and Sakura, Naruto was pulled to girls' table where they started asking questions about his trip and secretly admiring his looks. Naruto was answering questions of Ino, Hinata, Tenten, well, mostly Ino as she was the gossip queen, while Ayam was just blushing with Hinata on seeing his smile. Sasuke and Sakura were sitting on the neighboring table when suddenly Sasuke said, Hey dope. Naruto didn't responded. So he again said, Hey you dope. Naruto again didn't responded, but it was clear that he heard him, and now all the girls were looking at Sasuke, who was glaring at Naruto, and Naruto who was smiling at them. Suddenly Sasuke shouted, Hey dope. Aren't you listening to me? Dope and Sakura shouted, Yeah you baka. Why aren't you listening to Sasuke-kun? And tried to punch Naruto on his head when he caught your hand in the air. Sasuke now shouted with anger, Hey you dope. How dare you ignore me? The great Uchiha prodigy. You will pay for this dope. His sentence was left incomplete as a fist collided with his face and he was sent flying into a nearby table, whereas Sakura was tripped by a leg and landed on her but right beside Sasuke. Don't you dare call me that again, you piece of shit. Because the next time you said that, I will use my chakra in that punch. Same goes for you, bitch, said Naruto calmly, standing at his table with hands crossed in front of his chest and giving Gaara's typical pose. You will pay for that dope, shouted Sasuke, emerging from the broken pieces of wooden furniture. He ran towards Naruto and kicked him on his neck with his full force. But surprisingly, Naruto didn't even blink. This time Naruto used a finger and thrusted it in Sasuke's chest, who cried in pain and fell to his knees in front of Naruto. Sasuke, stop being so hateful or I will have to kill you, said Naruto. Ha, like you can kill me. You were not able to kill me back then and you are not capable of killing me now. I am a Chunin unlike you who is still a Genin, said Sasuke. Oh, it seems you forgot which one of us traveled back to Konoha on his own and which one of us was carried back here. I was easily capable of killing you at that time as well, and you know that Uchiha. It was I who dismissed my Rasengan at the last point to avoid killing you, and it was I who took your Chidori on my chest. I allowed you to live just because I promised that I will bring you back alive to that pink-haired bitch of yours standing there, and what I got, I was called Demon for bring you alive, and I am going to rectify that mistake of mine if you keep on acting like that in front of me. It seems that Kakashi and other senseis didn't tell you guys, huh? Hey Kakashi, do me a favor and enlighten this pest. Will you, said Naruto, motioning towards Kakashi. Hi, senpai, said Kakashi, making everyone confused as to why he called Naruto senpai. Kakashi came forward and said, Sasuke, even if you are a Chunin, Naruto is a Jonin, as he passed Chunin exams in Kumo, and after 2 months of becoming Chunin, he gave Jonin exams in Kiri, and on considering the gap between his promotions, he was promoted to Elite Jonin, and that's why I called him senpai, as he outranks me as well. Everyone was shocked on hearing Naruto's rank. Sasuke, you rank C in the bingo book of IWA, but Naruto is ranked above S and nearly an SS rank shinobi of Konoha, said Asuma. Naruto is clearly more powerful than any of us, that's for sure, said Kurinai. And his blood tastes better than any of you, said Anko, smiling. Naruto's flames of youth burns as bright as mine and Lee's, shouted Guy. So what? I will tell the council to strip him from his rank for attacking me. An elite Uchiha, said Sasuke, smirking. Oh, poor Sasuke. Do you know that there are clans in Konoha who are higher in rank than Uchiha? Asked Naruto smilingly. Yeah, they are the clans of Hokages, so what? Said a pissed Sasuke. Too bad for you, as I am a member of one of them, said Naruto calmly. Baka. Just because Tsunade-sama takes you as her son doesn't mean you are related to Hokage, shouted Sakura, now standing with a smirking Sasuke. Oh, is that so? Well, let me introduce me again briefly. I am Uzumaki Naruto. Namikaze, son of the Yondaime Hokage, Minato Namikaze aka Yellow Flash of Konoha and Kushina Uzumaki aka Red Death of Konoha, godson of Sanins, Jiraiya and Tsunade, a grandson figure for Sandaime Hokage, Jinchuriki of Kyuubi ni Kitsune. Nice to meet you all, he said smiling and flashing his copyright grin. Ha, that was a nice try Baka, but we don't believe you. You are lying, right sensei? Said Sakura. No Sakura, Naruto is telling the truth. He is the son of my sensei, Yondaime Hokage, Konoha's hero. To say that everyone was trying to find their jaws on the floor will be an understatement. So what? I am the last Uchiha. The council will do anything I say, said Sasuke, trying to conceal his shock and trying hard to maintain his stoic face. You will be the last Uchiha for the village and second last Uchiha for the fire country including Uchiha Itachi, but for the world, you are the third last Uchiha, as the true leader of Akatsuki is an Uchiha who helped Itachi in cleaning this village from those arrogant Uchihas. Yes, he is Uchiha Madara, Kakashi. He is Uchiha Obito in disguise who calls himself Uchiha Madara. And as long as I am considered, I am the last heir of both Uzumaki and Namikaze clans because I am the last member or at least last male member of these clans, so you can guess who will be supported by your precious council. Said Naruto, this time smirking. Not if I kill you first, said Sasuke, activating his Sharingan with 3 tomos. That lowly technique of yours will not work on me, Uchiha. I have the most powerful Jujutsu in the world, by which I have already defeated your brother twice in these last 3 years, said Naruto lazily. Oh yeah? Then let's watch this Jujutsu of yours, dope, said Sasuke. Nah, you are not worthy enough to even see it, and you don't even have Manjikyu Sharingan. It would be my Jujutsu's insult to be seen by a scum like you, team, as you are no prodigy. It was Itachi who was the real prodigy of the Uchiha clan, and I have already defeated him, and I don't need to prove anything to you, so shut your mouth and behave like one behaves in front of his or her superiors, as I am one for you, said Naruto, turning to others and then saying again that okay, so tomorrow is the announcement of my heritage and certain other news about me and future, so all of you, except my 2 ex-teammates, are invited by me on the top of the Hokage Tower at the backstage. I am having a short celebration there before the announcement, and Kiba, don't worry, I am throwing a full-blown party at my new house, the Namikaze estate, tomorrow night, and you all should be there. I insist, except my ex. He trailed off in the end of his sentence, rolling his eyes. Did you just said Namikaze estate? You mean the one in the northern outer region of Konoha? Asked Kiba with hearts in his eyes. Oh, I see, you have seen my family mansion. That's right, that's the one, so what? Any problem with that? Said Slash, asked Naruto with a brow narrowed. No, nothing is wrong. It's just that estate is the only one which is ranked higher than Uchiha compound in wealth, security, area, and incredible training grounds, said Kiba, much to Sasuke's jealousy. I see. You are well-informed, Kiba. At least now some thief of jutsu stealing clans will think twice before breaking into my house, said Naruto, eyeing Sasuke. Well, I have to go, so see ya all later. Until then, Jana, Naruto said, and then quickly disappeared in the air and reappearing behind Chan. Shall we go? He asked, surprising the said girl, who said, blushing, okay, Naruto-kun. Naruto smiled and then placed a hand on her shoulder and then smiled to others and mouthed, tomorrow Hokage Tower, and disappeared with in thin air. Alright guys, so this was the 3rd edition to this soon-to-be famous fanfiction. Okay. It was too much excitement, so next time, on I.E.S. The Announcement and the Sudden Challenge. Keep on reviewing, and if you are not reviewing, then stop reading. I mean, yeah, I get no money out of this, but giving reviews cannot be harmful for you guys, right? See you next time. Until then, J&E. Announcement and the Sudden Challenge. Disclaimer. What? I don't know, Naruto. Are you kidding me? Okay, so this chapter will be a long one, so sit tight, as you are not going bathroom until this chapter ends. Ah, the line above was for me. For you, just enjoy and... Oh, come on, I said just enjoy. Chapter 4. The Announcement and the Sudden Challenge. Naruto reached his apartment late that night after eating a lot of ramen at Ichiraku's and found that the door of his apartment was open. He suspiciously entered the apartment. A kunai held tightly in his left hand, whereas his right hand was curved to make a ram seal. There was a note stabbed by a kunai on the inside of his front door. He carefully took it down from the wall, making sure that there was no explosive tag connected to it in any way. He opened it and read,
Naruto Kouen.
"We are very happy on your return and thus thought to give you a return gift. So we managed to enter your apartment, sorry for the broken bedroom window, and cleaned it for you as we know you are always out for your intense training thus. You can now have a clean environment. Oh shit, we forgot that you are shifting to the Namikaze estate. Anyways, your cupboard is filled with instant ramen and it contains all ramen flavors. Well, at least those we are aware of, so please accept our little welcome back gift and again sorry for the window. We will meet you tomorrow at Hokage Tower. Ino, Hinata, 1010. Naruto smiled and placed his kunai back in his pocket. Yeah, tomorrow will be fun. Too much fun indeed. It was morning in Konoha and everyone was going on their jobs etc. But one thing was common. Everyone was thinking, why had Hokage called a village assembly? Hell, even a few ANBU members tripped on their own legs while thinking about it. Konoha Council Chambers, 8:39 a.m. Is this true that you have found Yondaime-sama's son, Hokage-sama? Because as far as we know, he never became father as Kushina-sama was killed before the birth of the child, said a council member. Yes, it is true that we have found Minato's son. We never lost him in the first place. It was a SS-ranked secret that only Hokages were allowed to know and tell. And no, Kushina gave birth to their son before being killed by the Kyuubi. He is already a Konoha Jonin at the age of 16 and is still climbing ranks as he will get a promotion today as well, said Tsunade smirking. She was proud of Naruto and was feeling a motherly joy for him at the time. Did you just say that he will get a promotion today but he is already a Jonin at 16 according to you and there is no rank above Jonin in Konoha Shinobi forces other than Sannin, so what promotion will he be given today then? Asked another civilian council member. You will see that in the village assembly today where I will reveal his heritage, Tsunade said. Then where is he now? Asked Sakaru Haruno, Sakura's mother who was also a civilian council member. He will be here was Tsunade's reply, which was shortly cut by Naruto who said, Hey Bachan, why did you call me here? What are you doing here, demon? Get out of here now, you trash. We don't want to let you meet Yondaime's son. Well, you can't. Even if you try that. As for the reason, Bachan here will tell you, you useless civilian, said Naruto smirking. He disrespected me, and you execute him now for disrespecting a council member. Shouted the same civilian again. Sorry, but we can't do that, said an ANBU while other ANBUs nodded in agreement. That's right, they can't execute a Namikaze just because he told a civilian his place in a shinobi village, said Tsunade, waiting to see everyone's reactions on the fact that she just referred to him as a Namikaze. Everyone processed the information and then Sakaru Haruno shouted, You are disrespecting Yondaime-sama by telling us that this demon is his son. Just because you have mercy for this demon doesn't give you any right to spread false rumors. We all know there is no way he is Yondaime's son. He is and always will be the demon that killed our beloved Yondaime Hokage. Other civilian members nodded, whereas shinobi clan leaders can now put two and two together and realization dawned on them. But we can tell that Yondaime-sama would have never asked anyone to give their child for the sealing of the Kyuubi, and thus he would have definitely chosen his own son for the task, said Shikaku Nara. Well, that doesn't prove he is his son, said Sakaru for the civilian side of the council. But we can't just avoid the exact resemblance of Yondaime in Naruto. Now can we? Said Inoichi Yamanaka. We don't believe that, said a civilian. I knew you will not believe this, that is why I have Sandaime-sama's personal diary with every secret about Naruto and Yondaime, said Tsunade. We know that Sandaime-sama loved this demon very much, so he can write lies about him, and thus it do not prove anything, said Sakaru, smirking and thinking that she won. Then you leave me no choice, Jiraiya. Bring in the last scroll left by Yondaime inside the council chamber. She ordered Jiraiya, who was standing outside the council chamber just in case if he was needed inside. Jiraiya came inside with a scroll in his hand and handed it to Tsunade. She showed it to all the council and then said, As you all can see and know that this scroll has Yondaime's personal seal, which means it was sealed by Yondaime himself, and it is not a fake one. Everyone nodded at this. She continued, we were trying to open it for years, so that we can get some knowledge about Kyuubi's attack. But sadly, it can only be opened by the blood of Yondaime or his child who has his blood in his veins. No, Naruto. Will you please come forward and wipe some of your blood on this seal over here, so that we can see that whether you are really Yondaime's son or not. At this, Naruto came forward and bit his thumb and swiped it on the seal present on the scroll. It glowed for a while, and then it opened the scroll to the shock of everyone in the council. Naruto, this is your parents' scroll, thus you should see its content first, Tsunade said and handed it over to Naruto. Now officially Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. There was a letter from his parents and some papers. He handed over the papers to Tsunade, who started reading them aloud. I am Minato Namikaze, Konoha's Yellow Flash and Yondaime Hokage. Today is 10th October and Kyuubi is doing its rampage on Konoha. During the birth of our only son Naruto, Kushina's seal became loose and a masked man appeared and broke the seal and used Sharingan to control Kyuubi. I managed to defeat him and cancel out his control on Kyuubi, but he managed to escape. I summoned Shinigami and used my own son to seal it because he had Uzumaki blood in him. That my eternal rival, why are you laughing? Asked Guy. I am laughing at the irony of the situation, Guy, as I recognize those seals, replied the copy ninja. What are the functions of those seals, Kakashi? Asked Kurinai. Yes, who do they work? Asuma added his 2 cents in the series of questions to the Sharingan user. Yes, senpai, maybe we will able to counter them or get out of their effect, said the ANBU captain. You all don't know them, right? Asked Kakashi. All the new generation was listening the discussion of the Jonins and ANBU. When Kakashi got negative response, he decided to end their misery. I recognize those seals because in the Third Shinobi World War, just before when Konoha's Yellow Flash, Minato-sensei, destroyed Iwa's shinobi battalions using Hiroshin, he used those exact seals on the battlefield to increase the number of shinobi in his reach, as those seals will not allow anyone to leave the area. No amount of explosives or ninjutsu, no matter what elemental, can destroy them. They are the perfect trap. There is no one that I know who has escaped these seals. We are pretty much done for. I have to say, like father, like son. You couldn't mean that we cannot escape them, Kakashi, my eternal rival. My flames of youth burn brightly and they're brighter than yours, shouted Guy. Huh? Did you say something? Said Kakashi with half-open eye. Ooh, Kakashi. You and your hepatitude. Alright, that's enough. I can destroy these stupid seals of dope easily. After all, I am an uchiha, the last member of the most powerful clan to ever grace this world with its presence. Said, you know who? Apparently during this whole ordeal, the emo king had come to his senses. Stop this nonsense, Sasuke. You are nowhere near the level of Naruto. So stop trying to look good when in reality you are only making a fool of yourself, said Kurinai. Shut up, bitch, said an angry Sasuke with his Sharingan activated for intimidation. Not that it worked on the Jonin, thus, after 2 seconds, he deactivated his eyes. This made all the Jonins present to stop themselves from killing the boy with their own hands. Behave yourself, insect, you should know your place. She is more powerful than you can handle, after all, unlike you. She is not all talk. She can back up her position in the village, said Naruto, a snarl present on his face. Just you wait once I defeat you. I will not only take your position as the new ANBU head, but also all the wealth and weapons of your both clans will be mine, said Sasuke smugly. You are welcome to try, but remember that your clan is dead, so if you fail to do what you dream of, then there is no one you can run to, crying on your failure. Maybe that banshee over there, but who is counting her? She is negligible in this situation's equation. I see the dope's math has become better, replied Sasuke. I see too. Team can only bark, not bite. You sure Itachi wasn't bitten by you when he went insane and killed that pompous-assed clan of yours? I will show you who can bite, said Sasuke and jumped towards the nearest wall to deliver a shitload of explosives, but the seals weren't only for cantonment. A massive push of wind chakra was emitted from the seals, which blew Sasuke away and, boom! For the second time in the span of 20 minutes, Sasuke was subjected to explosions in his face, again knocking him out successfully. Everyone's sweat dropped at the obvious show of lack of emotion control from Sasuke. Cough cough. Sasuke. Now, I Tsunade Senju. Announce end of this round, said Tsunade on the podium from the Kage box. Okay then, next round will start in 5 minutes. Everyone, get your injuries treated as the next round is going to need you in your top shape, said Naruto. Medics rushed in the arena to get the shinobi in as better condition as possible in 5 minutes. Happy face carrot, after 5 minutes happy face carrot. All the shinobi were treated and the medics were back to their post. Even with their injuries treated and their chakra replenished, thanks to chakra replenishing pills, no one looked much willing to fight. Naruto appeared in a puff of smoke in the middle of the arena. Alright, now that everyone is up and running, let us start the next round. Next is Round 4, Kenjutsu. Ha, now something I like, said Tenten. Don't worry, sweetheart. You will like the upcoming rounds as well, said Naruto and winked. Tenten suddenly found ground beneath her feet more interesting as she was blushing up a storm. Let us start. Everyone take out your weapons, said Asuma. Every ANBU took out their ninjatos. Kakashi summoned his tanto that he used to fight with in his earlier days as an ANBU. Tenten took out a bu staff and took a stance which showed years of practice. Asuma was quick to put on his knuckle knives. Everyone else took out kunais or knives. They waited for Naruto to bring out his weapon, who made a hand seal, and in a puff of smoke there was a gunbai strapped to his back and 2 swords in both his hands. The one in his left hand was pitch black and looked like to be coated in oil with a triangular guard and a silver chain of about 20 centimeters hanging from the bottom of the handle. The one in his right hand was blood red in color with a silver line on the sharp side. It had a pentagonal guard and a pure black chain was connected to the bottom of the handle going inside the sleeve of Naruto's right arm up to his bicep and curling there. Like Tensa Zangetsu of Ichigo after Dong-ai training in Bleach. What was more interesting about the black sword was that its edge was a little like comb, having teeth going from top to bottom to help in cutting out flesh. Similarly, the red one had small holes in the middle of it to help in striking with minimum air resistance, and these holes also allowed the blood to flow out of the wound even when the blade was still in it. All in all, these 2 blades were screaming for the shinobis to keep their distance from the one holding them. Shit, those are the famous swords of gods. I thought they were just a myth, said a now sweating Asuma. Care to explain their properties a little, asked Kakashi. Holding his trusted tanto after so many years made him turn back into his ANBU mode. Thought Kurinai, Guy, and Asuma simultaneously. I don't know, none survived a battle with them to disclose that secret. Last I checked they were supposed to be protected a country of monks in the west, answered Asuma. Correct, they were in that country indeed until I razed that country to the ground, said Naruto. Everyone was shocked at this, even Tsunade. What did you do? Asked Tsunade. Let me explain. After having such strong weapons in their possession for so long made them greedy. They started to try and use them for forcing the countries around them to submit to them. They were using them when none of them knew how to use them correctly, and due to this an accident occurred. The one using them lost control and leveled a whole village of people. I was in that country at that time and came to know about this. As per my nature, I couldn't just sit hand on hand, so I went there to negotiate with them for the well-being of other neighboring countries, but they were so engrossed in the power of these swords that they tried to attack me with them. I destroyed the one using them and showed that very country what it felt like to be attacked by these swords. Last I checked, that country was being used as a country of graveyards by neighboring ones, said Naruto. Now everyone went calm. Tsunade knew that Naruto was telling truth, as she had heard about a village disappearing in a night from the face of the earth, and then after a week a whole country did the same. She never acted on the news because she thought that these were either rumors being spread by people trying to increase tourism to that part of the world, or even if they were true, the incidents took place very far from elemental nations for her to worry. Now she knew what happened, but still she will have a talk with Naruto regarding the topic. Whatever, me and you are going to have a long talk about that later. As for now, I believe you are not going to kill any of my ninjas with those swords, right? She ordered as well as asked. Of course not, Hokage-sama, said Naruto, clearly upset that his mother figure would doubt him and his judgment. Hearing Naruto address her as Hokage-sama instead of Bachan delivered the message of Naruto's downed emotions to Tsunade, who couldn't think of what to say at the moment. So she just ordered the continuation and sat down. This black one here is called Angel of Chaos. It said that the Shinigami-sama made it from the spine of his own human body. said Naruto, now holding the mentioned sword in front of him for everyone to see. This one here is called Fury of Hell, crafted in Hell's flames by Yami-sama herself using her tears as the power, said Naruto and showed the red sword in his right hand. Then he stabbed both swords in ground and took out the gunbai in his hand from his back. Holding it in front of him, he said, "And this masterpiece of craftsmanship is called God's Thunderstorm, made from the same metal as Kami-sama's thrown by herself using her purity as the power source. As for their abilities, I don't think it would be a good idea to disclose such secrets of my weapons in public where there are enemies of mine and my village waiting to get valuable info on me." Everyone nearly forgot that they were in the middle of a battle. Weapons forged by gods themselves were present in front of their eyes, thus they couldn't help but marvel at their beauty. Especially Tenten. "Enough chit-chat, I think we were about to see the round 4 of Kenjutsu, right? So get on with it already," screamed Tsunade. Right, alright Bachan, what's with the rush?" said the gladiator of the arena. "Let's start this round, shall we?" said a grinning Naruto. And cut. 5,000 words with an injured wrist. Salute to myself. All right, it came to my attention that I wrote Sakura's mother's name as Sakaru instead of Mabuki, so thanks for bringing that to my attention. I will keep that in mind for future use. Also, I will post next chapter, which will be chapter 6 after I have written chapter 7. I have already completed chapter 6 and chapter 7 is in progress. Read and review like always and PM me if you want to get in contact with me. Until next time. Kakashi Hatake .7799 is out.
Yane.
OWW my wrist. Fuck. Stories from the past. Revised. The last time I posted this chapter without editing, so I received a lot of flames. Thus, I have revised this chapter within 24 hours of its first publish. Hope now it's more bearable. Make sure to read the revised /n at the end of chapter. Alright guys, I am back with the new chapter of Invincible Eyes of the Sennin. I am very angry at you all. None of you, except for Mike 202303, asked about my health in the reviews or via PM. That's so unfair. Also, when I am writing this, my story still have only 42 reviews count and some of them are flames too. Even though it's more than what some stories get in 10 to 15 chapters, but I am simply greedy. I want reviews to help me better my story in the future. I hope you can understand, and I want the count to reach at least 65 reviews after this chapter, even if you have to write 10 word in 10 separate reviews. I am officially crazy Muhea. Cough. Too much coke cough. Some of the ideas and suggestions are, make it a Narusaku. My answer, that is not going to happen as long as I am the author of this story. Got that? Write chapters on the flashbacks of Naruto's Chunin and Jonin exams. My answer, I will give it a shot, we'll see what comes out of my head, winky face. My question, what should I name Naruto's new ANBU core? Send your suggestions via PM. Should I make the Akatsuki very powerful, or, that's it. Take Kuratsuchi, my Cheyenne, Karui, and all other outsiders in harem. My answer is that I am going to take only Temari from outside of Konoha for now and will try to take Samui, my Yujito and Kuratsuchi or whatever. Others have little to no information about their character in anime to understand them. But you all are welcome to change my opinion. Poll. Which of these should be the summons of Naruto? Top 3 will be his summons. Toads, lions, tigers, hawks, dragons, demons, bijus. Make sure to vote, guys. Also, if you want an 8th choice, PM me, I'll see what I can do. Chapter 6 Stories of the Past. This chapter is denoted to my best pals and readers. Mike 202303 and Animaman. Naruto was just getting his head straight after his encounter with the supposed Sage of Six Paths. The red chakra of Nine Tails was back where it belonged, the seal. His vision was still blurred, but he could easily distinguish a worried Jiraiya's face from the other things in the background. Jiraiya was leaning over Naruto's downed form with a face which was now officially a worried, sick Jiraiya expression. What the hell happened, Naruto? Answer me, damn it, said the tense sensei. One moment he was perfect and the next, he was on the ground with his head in his hands. Ero Sanin, too much noise, will you shut up for a sec? Came the reply of the protege. After helping Naruto wash his face with water from a nearby lake, Jiraiya helped him to stand. After both of them were settled under the shade of a large tree, away from any civilian as well as shinobi eyes and ears, Jiraiya finally asked, "Okay, now tell me what happened there. You scared the shit out of me. I thought the seal was coming off or Kyuubi was again trying to take over." Naruto didn't reply right away. His hair were shadowing over his upper face, successfully hiding his eyes from Jiraiya. "You knew, right? You knew all along," whispered Naruto with his eyes still on the ground. What are you babbling about, Gaki? You knew all along. I can't believe it, after all this time. Now you are really scaring me for your mental health there. Just get to the point, will ya? You knew my parents, didn't you? Asked Naruto. Now Jiraiya's eyes grew wide with shock. How did he came to know this? Who could tell him such a secret? I don't know what you are saying, brat. Just rest and we will get on the road to the next town. Don't you lie to me, damn it. Why don't you just tell me about my parents? After all, you can't be serious that you, a freaking Sannin, is not aware of whose child was made the Jinchuriki of your village, said a very upset Naruto as he was getting angry more and more by every second. Jiraiya was about to deny again, but when Naruto lifted his head, he was able to clearly see a set of blood-red eyes filled with tears. Shit, either he is very upset or very angry to unconsciously draw on the Kyuubi's chakra. This is the kid I was made the godfather of. This is the son of my precious student Minato. This is the kid who will grow into a great man and prove himself to be the child of prophecy. I can't lie to him, not about his parents, not anymore. All right, Gaki. I will tell you about your parents. But first you must know that I am your godfather. Naruto was now beyond happy. At long last someone he could call family. But Naruto promised me that you will not use your real name before the completion of your 3-year training trip. I promise, Godfather. I will only take up my family name after I am capable of backing it up. Good to hear. Now first your mother. Naruto listened intently. Princess of Uzumaki no Sato, truly a force to be reckoned with. Master of swords and deadly in taijutsu and kenjutsu. Beauty such as Kami-sama herself will feel jealous. Strength of a tailed beast. Chakra so special that not even Kyuubi's Yukai could handle it. Crimson hair of a goddess, purple eyes of a miracle. Bestowed by the name of heaven's angel from the ones behind and crimson death from the ones in front. Whom Konoha was proud of and whom Kumo, Kiri and Iwa feared. The name of that woman no goddess among people was Uzumaki Kushina, said Jiraiya proudly. Naruto couldn't help but smile at everything Jiraiya said about his mother. She was the tomboy of her class and was always spotted at the same Ichiraka ramen stand just like you. She came to Konoha when she was 8. She was the only daughter of the emperor, or you may say Kage or clan head of the Uzumaki clan of Uzushio. I must tell you, she was the second Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi before you and after Shodai's wife. Mito-sama being the first. Whenever she became angry, her hair will rise and sway in the form of 9 tails behind her back. Come to think of it, I never asked whether it was he doing or an instinct thing. Anyways, back to the topic. What a woman. She once caught me peeping on the women of Konoha at the hot springs. Man, what a beatbone it was. I still feel sore in my back where she sat after beating me within an inch of my life. Anyways, I would like to tell you this. She was the happiest woman alive when she found out about you growing inside of her. She was the only woman who looked pretty even during pregnancy. The mood swings were disastrous though. Naruto was now shedding tears of happiness. Now he could say he knew a little about his mother. The woman who gave him his life. Okay, Ero Sannin, now on with my father, said Naruto cheerfully. Seeing the smile on his student's face made Jiraiya smile as well. Okay, strongest shinobi to ever grace this world, pool of kindness. A true genius, prodigy of Konoha. Smile that could melt even the heart of an angry Tsunade. A loving pure soul, sun-kissed golden locks, piercing deep ocean blue eyes, built of an outstanding shinobi. The man who single-handedly ended the Third Shinobi World War, massacred a whole village's shinobi force in a span of seconds, second summoner of the prestigious clan of Toads after me and before you, hailed as the hero by whole Konoha and feared as well as respected by all other nations, the god among man, holder of the name Konoha's Yellow Flash, inventor of devastating jutsus only second to the Nandame Hokage. The man to hold the world's most power title as well as the commander-in-chief of the most powerful military shinobi force. the shinobi to defeat the mighty Kyuubi no Kitsune, my own student, the Yondaime Hokage of Konohagakure no Sato, Namikaze Minato. Now Naruto was definitely proud of his father. Who won't be after hearing all this? Heck, the author of this story is proud of the Yondaime and wishes to be his son instead. Figured as much, said Naruto. What, how did you figured it out on your own? Asked a confused Jiraiya. Well duh. Look at me and look at Dad. We are bound to be closely related somehow, said Naruto in a joking tone. Oh okay, now tell me what happened back there, and how did you suddenly knew that I knew about your parents' identities? Said Jiraiya. Well you see. And so Naruto told Jiraiya everything that happened in his mind. After explanation. So get me this straight, you are telling me that you met Sage of Six Paths and are going to train with him and Kyuubi from now on. Then what am I supposed to do? Try and find the Forest of Creation, said asked Jiraiya. You can keep Akatsuki and Konoha off my back, and give me some notes of my father on Hiroshin, along with some of those special kunais. Said answered Naruto. Oh yeah, I have some of Minato's notes, but they are from when he was just trying to recreate the legendary jutsu. I am not sure they will be much of help. Either way, you can have them, and don't worry about Tsunade and Akatsuki. I will cover your back, said Jiraiya. That's good to hear, Ero Sanin. Shut up, brat. I thought at the very least you will stop calling me that after your encounter with someone as the Sanin. Whatever you say. Anyways, any idea where you will train, because if you stayed Akatsuki may find you, and if you traveled Konoha may find you. What about that Forest of Creation that you mentioned earlier? That forest, it is a mythical forest gaki. It is said that the sage used to meditate there and that's where he died. It is said that whoever entered that forest will either end up as powerful as the sage or as good as a dead pigeon. Many tried to find that forest but no one succeeded, or even if someone did, they weren't left alive to tell any stories of that place. I highly recommend that you drop that idea from your head. I know where that forest is, Ero Sanin. I know that that place is cursed. Hagoromo or the sage had a brother. That brother cursed that forest, that no one will ever find that forest, or even if someone did find that forest, without the sage's chakra to protect them in the forest, they will die. I have that chakra in me, so I will be training there. Just send messages via toads and meet me in this town after 2 years on this very day. You sure you will be able to handle yourself out there alone? Of course, pervy sage, who do you think I am? I am Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. I can take care of myself, said Naruto, pounding his fist on his chest. Time skip. 3 days later. Outskirts of the land of grains. Distance from elemental nations, 3,700 kilometers. Damn. I wish Ero Sanin was here to buy me that ice stick. It's burning up here, said Naruto as he was currently climbing a tall mountain of Grain Country's border. After traveling for 3 straight days with minimal rest and food, Naruto was now running empty in case of stomach and full in case of bladder. He was climbing this mountain for the last 5 hours or so and was nearly on the peak. There were no settlements in the nearby vicinity of the mountain, and Naruto was desperate for water because he ended up losing his canteen in a rather unlucky incident which involved a big swamp, a squirrel, and a poor soul of good heart. On reaching the top of the mountain, Naruto turned around to get the view from the high ground to get a better understanding of the surroundings of what was going to be his home for the next 2 exhausting years of extreme training in all shinobi arts. As he turned around, he nearly fell back in the depth of the valley of the mountain. He quickly jumped back to a safe distance away from the edge of the mountain to preserve his precious life. Lifting his head up, what he saw amazed him to no end. There in front of him was the greatest view of the world he had ever seen in his whole life until now. He was almost in the clouds and birds were flying from one mountainside to another in groups of hundreds, doing unimaginable teamwork to make the group look like one single being. He could see both the rivers that were originating from the very same mountain he was standing on. Even saw some of easier ways he could have used to get up here and memorized them for later use. As he turned back to face the mountain's peak, he thought, okay, so now what, old man? What am I supposed to do now? Try finding a big slab on the cliff of the mountain, son, came the reply from inside his head. Well, I have spotted the slab, brat. It's on that cliff on your right, on your 2 o'clock, said Kyuubi from inside too. Yeah, I see it too. Thanks, furball, said Naruto, enjoying how Kyuubi started muttering about disrespectful brats and their cheesy grins. Naruto soon reached the ledge with the slab on it. On reaching it, Naruto found that it was a map of the shinobi world. The land was elevated and the oceans and seas were deeply engraved. Now try finding an error in it, son, said the sage. Naruto started to concentrate on finding a mistake in the map. After 5 minutes of searching, he finally spotted a small part of Land of Fire to be bigger than it should be. He quickly reached for it and touched it. As soon as his hand came in contact of the slab, the extra land went down to the level of the ocean and all around him a wall appeared from the ground. Now solve the last puzzle, Naruto, said the sage again. All right, here we go, said Naruto to no one in particular and started to analyze the slab. Now the oceans were elevated and land was pressed down. This one went easy as Naruto soon found that the wave country was raised to the ocean's level and quickly pressed it. As soon as he pressed the slab, the ground under him gave away and he found himself falling inside the mountain. Naruto was quite frightened at first because it is not every day that you fall inside a huge mountain. As he peeked under him during the fall, he spotted forest of lush green color with some brown trees here and there. Ow, fuck! Dump! Crack! Whoosh! Splat! Silence, silence, silence. Naruto now found himself inside a pit of leaves which was clearly made to cushion the fall in this forest. Ah, I almost forgot about this pit. I used to fall in it during the starting years of my training. But then I got the hang of levitation and it was forgotten. Silly me, said the sage. It's good that you forgot about this pit or my back would be killing me right now. Came the reply from Naruto, effectively striking a conversation. Anyways, be cautious, Naruto. This forest is inhabited by all types of mystical beings. From dragons and dwarfs to elves and elite summons. They will easily attack you if provoked. Try to walk against the direction of wind. It will prevent the creatures from smelling you. What the hell, old man, you never mentioned that I will have to face dragons in this forest? And what is this? It's a forest inside a mountain. How can there be wind inside here? It is possible, Naruto. There is a temple in this forest which is housed by the dragons. These dragons continuously blow wind by flapping. Their large wings and breath out fire to maintain this place's temperature. Didn't you notice that this forest is quite warm even after being situated inside a tall mountain with almost no light? Yeah, okay. Come to think of it, how is there light in here? If you can see on careful and close examination of the wall of this forest, they are made up of such material which only allows light to come inside and not to leave. That's how once the light enters here, it is trapped here for eternity. Oh, Shida fucking black hole? Calm down, idiot. Just give those horses of your thoughts some rest and get a move on, said an annoyed Kyuubi. Shut up, furball, or should I say kurama? Don't you dare call me by my name, brat. Shut up and just go to sleep, fox. Naruto started to move inside the dense forest. He was using the advice of the sage and moving against the direction of wind. As he was walking, he came to a spot where a light stream of water was emerging from under a big rock. Water. At last we are again united in this cruel world filled with pain and suffering to quench each other's thirst, said Naruto with his hands apart. Great, now he is acting like that green spandex-wearing idiot of Konoha. Why am I doomed to be sealed only inside the Uzumakis? With ramen in place of their brains. Why God, why? Whined a crying Kyuubi in front of the sage who was now sporting a sweat drop. You do know that I can hear you, right? Thought a narrow-eyed Naruto, effectively shutting up the Kyuubi in its rant. After Naruto drank the water and stored some inside a scroll, he decided to make a cave beside the stream, but the sage suggested that he make a house from his newly acquired Mokuton. When Naruto pointed out that he didn't know how to use Mokuton yet, the sage landed him a hand. All right, old man, here I go. Ninjarts, Mokuton no Jutsu. As the sage directed Naruto's Mokuton chakra for the jutsu, a house started to emerge from the ground. It was a 2-story house and could house a small family of 4. It had big windows with wooden bars to stop anyone from entering via windows and a perfect front yard with boundary walls of wood with spikes on outer surface. As Naruto was entering inside the house, he was impressed as the house looked more like a clan compound. When he reached the front gate, he saw a set of 6 wooden Megantas engraved on it. That's to notify the creatures of this forest that this house belongs to me, Naruto. said the sage inside Naruto's head. Naruto just smirked and entered the house. After he was settled inside comfortably, he thought, "Now what, old man? What are the plans regarding my training under you?" "Oh yes, your training. I almost forgot this old age must be getting to me in this form as well. Anyways, I was thinking that you have yet to activate your new eyes, right, Naruto?" Yes. Try activating them. They will just sting a bit at first, then everything should go back to normal." "Okay, let's see, just channel my chakra to my eyes." As Naruto channeled his chakra towards his eyes, they changed from his deep ocean blue ones to a Sharingan with one tomo, then the second one appeared soon followed by the third one. Then the veins around his eyes bulged and his eyes went wide with the pupil becoming white surrounded by black tomos of Sharingan. Then his tomos got connected by lines and soon his eye resembled Rinnegan. But the transformation didn't stop there. The lines in his eyes started gaining more tomos until there were 9 of them. Now his eyes were metallic purple in color with a hint of silver in the middle and red at the corners. As the transformation finished, Naruto let out an earth-shattering scream of agony and started to thrash around with his head and hands. His eyes squeezed shut. "What the hell, old man, you said it will just sting a little. It seems like my whole brain is on fire. Is being electrocuted. I think it is because I had Jubi inside me when I gained the eternal level. I defeated Jubi while I still had only Rinnegan. You on the other hand only have Kyubi inside you, which still is a good thing as if you had the 7 tails or lesser one in you. I am sorry to say that you would have died right away," said the sage grimly. "I don't care about what would have happened. Just help me with this pain." Naruto was now colliding with the wooden walls of his new house while holding his head and eyes with his hands. "I can knock you out if you want," said Kyubi from inside his mind. "If it will save me from this pain, then please do," came the reply. "Here you go, you owe me 1 kit," and with that Kyubi leaked some of its chakra in Naruto's own chakra network and blocked the flow of chakra from his brain for a split of second, successfully knocking him out. In the real world, suddenly Naruto's eyes rolled back in his skull, and he crumbled in a heap on the floor. Next day when Naruto woke up, he went outside to collect some fruits for breakfast. The sage told him that once he will get a hang of his new powers, he will not need to eat as his body will start feeding on the natural chakra around him, but until then, he was left with finding his own food in the forest. At first Naruto freaked out while thinking that he will no longer be able to eat his favorite ramen, but the sage told him that he will be easily able to eat all he want, even though he will not need it. So after the breakfast of some ripe fruits, Naruto's training began. He was forced to do muscle exercises whole day for about 6 months, which included him digging a huge crater for his taijutsu training. Then the sage will have him fill it with mud and water. When it will become a swamp-like pit, he will force Naruto to jump in its center and perform all the katas and kicks of the taijutsu styles he was learning while trying not to drown inside the swamp at the same time. Endurance. He was also sent at the dragon's temple on many occasions by the sage, where the dragons will start to chase him all around the forest and Naruto will run for his life. Speed. Naruto will try to steal some of the meat from the wolf clan, which will result in him getting more close to the meat every time he tried, but will still result in the clan biting on his ass. Stealth. He was forced to carry a stack of fishes from one end of the forest to the other, hiding from all other creatures and searching and planning for more effective ways to get past enemy clan territories. Intelligence. Naruto had to make bridges wherever he encountered a trench or river. The twist was that he was only allowed to use kicks and punches to break the tree trunks. Power. Soon Naruto was making walls of rocks that he crushed using his knuckles and hunting for prey instead of surviving on fruits and vegetation. The next 6 months were used to train his ninjutsu. He woke and then practiced jutsus of all types. He practiced katan, suiton, reishin, doton and futon styles for 3 hours each, and then he moved on to shoton, hyuton, mokuton and other styles and releases, including his gravity manipulation. All this time Naruto was receiving info on Akatsuki from Jiraiya via Toads and was giving him updates of his training. After 1 year of his training was over, he was told that he will be starting in his sage training as well as his Jujutsu training. On training in his Jujutsu, Naruto easily activated Byakugan, Sharingan and Rinnegan because he had already seen the first 2 in his life up until now and wielded the third one. He was also able to activate 3 types of Mangekyo Sharingans. Kakashi's, because he saw him use it in one of his battles and later studied it when Kakashi was in hospital after his encounter with Itachi. Using Kakashi's eye technique, he also reached another dimension where he found out about Obito and his fake Madara alias. Second was Itachi's Mangekyo. He got this one by using Rinnegan's ability of information gathering from one soul on Kakashi. He once heard that Tsunade Senju, the Godame Hokage, was injured by an ambush when she was traveling to Fire Capital. So he sent a clone to make sure Tsunade was fine, and that's when the opportunity presented itself when he found out that Kakashi was injured as well and was in Konoha's hospital, recovering. His clone copied the information about Itachi's Sharingan and a little about his father's use of Hiroshin from Kakashi's head when he knocked out Kakashi using Sexy no Jutsu. Well, the blame was later passed on to Konohamaru for using the Kenjutsu on a Jonin, but at least the job was done. Lastly, Naruto activated his own Mangekyo, which evolved in Eternal Mangekyo because of his Eternal Rinnegan. His Mangekyo will be described later, so send your suggestions please. After he was expert in the use of his Dojutsu, he started his Sage training for 10 months as well his Hiroshin training. He became the first complete Toad Sage. He never needed to stay still thanks to Sage's chakra in him, but balancing his Kyuubi's, Sage's and natural chakra was the real hard part. He nearly burnt his chakra coils to crisp on more than one occasion. After a long wait, Naruto also completed Hiroshin training and started to train in making Hiroshin kunais using his creation of all things ability, the one pain uses to make his rods. His training with truth-seeking orbs was also fruitful, and he easily controlled them as he was quite natural to them due to his pure heart and soul. When Naruto was done with all the training, he still had a week left before he was supposed to meet Jiraiya. He used that week to battle both the Sage and the Kyuubi inside his mindscape. First few fights were hard pressing on him, but he managed to defeat Kyuubi in one of the fight, and then the Sage lost his stamina in another. All in all, he was quite happy with his training, but it was still the experience he was lacking. That will be taken care of soon. He will show the world what this new Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze can do by crushing Akatsuki and all others who will stand in his way. Time skip. Jiraiya was waiting in the same clearing in which he left his pupil 2 years ago. He was always in contact with his godson, but he will be seeing him for the first time after 2 years and his training under the Sage. As he was thinking on what has happened in the outer world in these 2 years, he didn't notice when the air behind him started to distort and swirl inside a small portal and Naruto appeared right behind him. "Hello, sensei," said Naruto smiling. At this, Jiraiya turned around so fast that he nearly broke his neck. The ice stick that he bought for Naruto fell from his hand, but Naruto used gravity manipulation to stop it from hitting the ground. There in front of him was his godson, looking like a god for God's sake. Naruto was wearing black ANBU-style pants with bandages from his shins to his ankles. There was a black t-shirt on his torso which stuck to his body, showing the result of his physical training. There were 6 Magantas on the upper front part of the t-shirt in white color. Naruto wore an orange haori over his t-shirt with black flames at the bottom of it. The haori reached his lower shin and had a red string in front of his chest to close the front. He also had black fingerless gloves on his hands with bandages on his right arm completely covering it from view. There was a loose brown belt around his waist which had his pouches hanging from it. His outfit was completed by black shinobi sandals and Tsunade's gift. Shodai's necklace around his neck with his hatai 8 with long black cloth tied firmly around his forehead. "Guess who's back?" said a grinning Naruto. "Naruto, my boy, is that you?" stuttered Jiraiya. Naruto's grin transformed into a full-blown smile as he pressed a thumb to his chest and replied, "Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, one and only, and cut. Until next time, keep reviewing, and if you skipped the author's note in the starting scroll back to it, read what I have said about reviewing. Yane. Oh, and my favorite akatsuki is Pain Samaea. Revised author's note. Those who said that my writing sucks, well, I couldn't care less about what you all guests have to say. The registered readers reserve the right to review, and I reserve the right to laugh wholeheartedly on the flames of these so-called guests. If you are so good at it, then use the sign-up/register button of this site and get a fucking name. I dare you to try and write a story like mine with chapter lengths of 5K words, and we will see what you are made up of. Other authors of this site will agree with me that at least I have the balls to write my imagination out in the open world and share it with members of this site. I have my studies as well, man. I live in Japan. I don't use Japanese though, but at least understand my situation, punk. Write a story of your own and PM. I will be the first one to review and show you the mirror. That's all. Author, Kakashi Hitake, .7799.
Yane.
7 round reduced to 5? Alright guys, I am back with the new chapter of Invincible Eyes of the Senin. Authors out there, please tell me I was right to say all that I said in my last chapters ending a /n. I was quite pissed off on those guest reviews and couldn't stop myself from teaching them a lesson. Seriously, those of you who are authors as well as registered readers, please respond to that note in reviews and PM. Thanks. Smiley face. Guys, there is a bad news. My PC kinda broke up with me. It starts for 3 minutes and then just shutdowns automatically and then displays power saving mode. Shit, I just got my Need for Speed Payback Special Edition and my PC fell ill. It's an awesome game and a must if you love NFS franchise. Stunning graphic in 4K ultra display and surround sound of all the engines just drives me crazy for this kind of shit. I am using my Dell Latitude to write this and trying to fix my CPU simultaneously. Unfortunately, my Dell Latitude still has MS Office missing. Also, I am going to use these words simultaneously. Chaos Angel equals Black Sword of Naruto. Hell's Fury equals Red Sword of Naruto. Thunderstorm equals Naruto's Gunbai. Chapter 7. The 7 Rounds Part 2. Let's start with this round, said Naruto. Yeah, came the united reply of all the shinobi around him. As the fighting began, Sasuke dashed forward and rocketed towards Naruto with a kunai in both hands. Naruto saw this and blocked the strike with Hell's Fury and bought Chaos Angel on him. Sasuke tried to block the incoming strike with his kunai, but the sword cleaved right through it and continued on its path. Sensing the danger, he jumped back and thought, "Those swords are very powerful. I need them to kill him. I want those swords no matter what." Dope is just using them without any thought. Their true power will only be revealed in the hands of an elite uchiha. Hey Dope, give me those swords and I will not use civil counsel to get them from you. If you deny, then be prepared to be embarrassed when I take them from your beaten form," said Sasuke smirking. "Keep on dreaming, team. You are beneath me. It was someone like you whom I have to kill to get these swords. They are now a clan heirloom. No one but my clan mates will be able to use them with my consent. Only one part of Uchiha clan will be able to touch them, and that will be Uchiha blood. Nothing else," said Naruto with a neutral expression. "I will get them and then use them to completely obligate you and all those you love. Dope," said Sasuke without thinking. Even if all this shit-talking was not enough for Naruto to beat the shit out of the last Uchiha, by using the last line, Sasuke crossed the one line that no enemy of Naruto should cross. He threatened his precious people. Naruto shot forward with his swords in hand, but there was something different this time. He was holding Chaos Angel in reverse grip in his left hand, whereas Hell's Fury was held straight in his right. Sasuke took out his kunai out in his left hand, and his right hand was hovering on his wrist of his left one, where a seal was located. When Naruto was moving towards Sasuke, Asuma appeared in his path with his trench knives in both hands and attacked Naruto. Kakashi used this distraction to attack his student from behind with his tanto fused with chakra. As the audience saw what the two jonins were up to, they moved forward and leaned in to get a better view of the interesting thing that was about to happen. As Naruto sensed the two attacks coming towards him, he quickly used Hell's Fury, moving in lightning speed, and brought the sword behind his back and blocked the chakra-infused tanto of Kakashi. As Asuma attacked from front with his trench knives, Naruto quickly used Chaos Angel in his left hand and stopped the attack of one of the knives and suddenly allowed Kakashi's tanto to push him forward. The sudden weight of Kakashi and Naruto forced Asuma to use the remaining trench knife in his right hand to block Chaos Angel, which was now dangerously near to his throat. All three of them held that position for a little while, trying to overpower each other. They were forced to separate as the ANBU decided to attack at that moment. Kakashi and Asuma jumped back so as to allow the ANBU team large space to attack their new commander. They sprang into action and started to attack Naruto from all four directions at the same time. Naruto was in the middle of this frenzy and was easily blocking all the strikes. Is this the level of skill the Konoha's ANBU has to offer? I have a long way to go in front of me to make ANBU what I like, thought Naruto. As the ANBU were attacking Naruto, all others in the sidelines stopped throwing kunai and shuriken to let ANBU handle the situation. Naruto was just letting the ANBU attack him and fail when suddenly he caught a glimpse of someone from between a gap in ANBU's formation. Sasuke. Naruto immediately remembered the target of his attack and decided that he had seen enough of the ANBU teams enough. In one swift motion, he sealed Hell's Fury and took out Thunderstorm. In one swing of the godly gunbai, he created a slash of white chakra which blew away all the ANBU to the walls of the stadium. The whole stadium was shell-shocked. A single ninja was defeating their elite shinobi in a fair battle without breaking a sweat. From the look of it, the other nins were trying their best to defeat him. Well, not the jonins, but they were giving it fair amount of determination too. Uzumaki Naruto no Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto was still looking bored. Kage box. In the back of the Kage box, there sat an unknown enemy of Naruto. This old man was not seeing Naruto growing in power. He was watching how much his weapon has grown under the tutelage of Jiraiya of the Sannin. This guy was known as Shimura Danzo, the old war hawk of Konoha and ex-teammate of Sandaime Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. The Kyuubi has definitely given him its power, or it would be impossible for a lost cause like him to gain that kind of power, student of Jiraiya or not. Were the thoughts of this bag of bones. Anyway, Tsunade has given him the command of ANBU of Konoha, so he is no longer eligible for recruitment en route. He is a Namikaze, that's for sure. Hiruzen was able to hide a secret like this for so long is both admirable and problematic. Tsunade was just sitting there neutrally without a hint of worry on her face. Not that her genjutsu will allow small lines on her forehead caused by tension to be shown. Naruto is definitely more powerful than Kakashi, and I think he will give me some serious trouble in a fight, but nothing I can't handle, thought Tsunade. Only if she knew how wrong she was. Naruto could give her more than just trouble. Back on the field, Naruto saw his window and again made a beeline towards Sasuke. When he was almost on Sasuke, some kunai and shuriken were thrown to block his path. Tenten landed in front of him, again blocking his path. She blushed and smiled a true smile when Naruto said, "Sweetheart, not now. As you can see, I am kinda in middle of going to beat the shit out of a certain red-eyed bastard. Sorry, Naruto-kun, but you know how I can't control myself when weapons like those are in the field," said Tenten, gesturing towards Naruto's weapons. "Will it help if I promised you will be able to see and touch them any time in the future?" said Naruto frankly. "Sadly no, but I would like that very much," Tenten said. "Well, at least I tried," shrugged Naruto. Naruto shot forward at Tenten with neck-breaking speed. Tenten's eyes widened as his speed seemed faster than before. She used her bow staff to keep Naruto at bay and maintain distance between them. She was using all her strength to just get the staff to defend herself. Naruto was clearly the dominant one, as he always knew what Tenten will do next and will attack her weaknesses, forcing her to give up on attacking and just defend herself from the slaughter of attacks coming her way. Just as Naruto was going to stop Tenten by holding her wrists, a kunai fused with lightning chakra came sailing at him. The kunai was dangerously close to his temple, but Naruto's eyes quickly caught the movement, and he tilted his head a little to his right to let the kunai pass safely. When he again turned his head, he saw that Sasuke was about to throw another kunai laced in lightning chakra. When he predicted its trajectory, his eyes widened. Tenten was in the path of the kunai. Sasuke was not thinking about the safety of a comrade. If Naruto didn't do anything soon, then Tenten will be hit by the kunai. Decision made, Naruto moved forward and raised his left leg high. His thigh was touching his forehead. As soon as Tenten moved her staff to attack, Naruto buried the bow staff in the ground by bringing his leg down on it with monstrous strength. Due to the sudden movement of her opponent and sudden tug on her weapon, Tenten flew forward. Naruto quickly spun on his heel and caught Tenten in his embrace. Their faces were inches away from each other. Tenten was blushing up a storm as she felt a strong pair of arms encircle her waist and a rock-solid chest pressed to her own. Naruto, on the other hand, was completely focused on the incoming kunai thrown by Sasuke. He quickly laced his own right hand in lightning chakra and inserted his index finger in the ring of the kunai in midair and turned its direction in 180 degrees. The kunai sailed back at the other two kunai that were apparently Sasuke's backup plan. The kunai collided with one of the other two and stopped the attack, whereas Naruto used his chakra-covered hand to slap the last one away. Seeing the display made many shinobi to go in shock. Some of the kunoichis were in shock too, but for a different reason. Shinobi were shocked because the speed of a lightning kunai was very fast for normal ninjas, and slapping one away with bare hand was no normal feat. Kunoichis were shocked because Naruto was still keeping Tenten pressed to his chest with his left hand, and it didn't look like Tenten was trying to get free or, for the record, even wanted to. Start using that good-for-nothing brain of yours, uchiha. Comrades are the most important weapon in a battle. No jujutsu, or ninjutsu can replace them. A comrade is also the worst possible enemy. If a comrade turns on you in middle of a fight, then you are definitely done for. Guy, Lee and Niji were now glaring daggers at Sasuke. If looks could kill, then Sasuke would be 10 meters deep in the ground by now. Sasuke was about to make another one of his stupid elite Uchiha comment, but the killing intent leaking from Naruto made him think twice for once. Naruto now looked down at Tenten, whose eyes were closed dreamingly. Not that I am complaining, but we are in a stadium packed with the whole Konoha. This statement pulled her out of her dream world, and she started to sputter, "Kiya, a go gomen Naruto-kun. I was just. Don't worry, I can understand. I usually get that kind of reaction from most of the girls." Tenten was so out of the moment that she never noticed her broken staff buried half-meter deep in the ground. Apparently Naruto's leg strike proved to be too much for the staff, and it was now broken from where his leg strike connected. Leaving Tenten where she was still dreaming, Naruto again ran towards Sasuke. This time no one tried or even dared to cross his path, as it was clear that Naruto was going to teach the Uchiha a lesson. When Naruto reached Sasuke, he used Chaos Angel and attacked the Uchiha furiously. Sasuke used a lightning-charged kunai to block the incoming strike, but as he was blocking Chaos Angel, the Hell's Fury appeared right on his left side. In desperate attempt to block the second sword, Sasuke was forced to reveal his trump card sooner than he intended. He applied his chakra at the seal situated at his wrist, and a sword appeared in his hand, which he used to block Hell's Fury. "Dope, you can't touch me as long as I have this sword. You are not the only one with legendary swords in this village. This is the legendary sword of Uchiha Madara. It was used against Hashirama a lot of times. This is an Uchiha heirloom, Dope. You cannot defeat me with this sword by my side." Both of them were forcing each other backwards, but it was clear that Sasuke was losing as his back was chips. Suddenly there was a knock on the door of the office. "It seems he is here," said Tsunade as she gave her permission of entry to the newest arrival. "Meet him. His name is Sai. He will be the squad leader of Team Gamma." Sai just smiled a creepy smile which made Sakura wanting to hide behind Tsunade in fear. Kiba and Choji were weary of this new guy. Sasuke plain ignored him and continued to glare at Naruto, who was looking at Ino. Ino noticed Naruto's stare and immediately blushed. "Hello, I am Sai." As everyone was going outside the office, Tsunade stopped Team Alpha and asked Naruto. "Naruto, I realized that you are starting your service as the new military commander of Konoha from today. I know that you can use shadow clones to help you, but even you can sometimes act as an idiot. So I would like to ask you, would you like to nominate someone to be your secretary just like Shizune is for me?" Naruto thought for a while, then said, "I want to strengthen the bonds of our newly formed team. So if they are okay with it, I would like to have Ino become my secretary and Tenten along with Niji to become my advisors and bodyguards." On hearing his request, Tsunade couldn't help but smile. "You have grown, brat. Do you have any objection?" asked Tsunade. When all three behind Naruto gave their negative, she continued. "Alright, so it's settled then. Do as Naruto say from now on. He will be the one to give you missions from now on, and I will only call you in emergencies." "Hi. Well, you three should consider joining ANBU now, as it will benefit your team," said Tsunade, and then turned to Naruto. "Naruto, I wanted to train you to become Rokudame after me, thus I have taken the liberty to shift your office from the ANBU headquarters to the room beside this one. This wall here that separates both rooms is a triple-layered genjutsu. Both of us will be able to observe each other in this way. Now off you go to that office of yours, said Tsunade, annoyed with the smirking blonde eye front of her. Inwardly, she was feeling like the proudest mother of the whole world for her gaki. You have sure grown up Naruto into a young man just like Minato. End cut. Alright, it's time for my rant. I just realized that I was kinda pressurizing my readers for reviews. Well, I am so sorry for that, guys. It will not happen again, I promise. Hey, did you guys watch Thor the Ragnarok? I watched it on 4th of this month. Yeah, I forgot to mention it in the last chapter. Hats off to all the guys who worked hard to make this film. Really awesome film. The jokes are awesome, and for once I thought that I was watching Iron Man 4 with Tony's jokes. The best one was GET Help. Anyways, nice movie, must watch, and in 3D. Damn, I am a Marvel fan just as I am a Naruto fan. Next chapter will come on 10th of December. I have exams too, you know.
Yane.
Oh, and my username is now namikazeminato.7799 instead of kakashiatake.7799. Respect that. From Rokudame to Yandame, haha, I am awesome.
Again, Yane.
Getting started. Author. namikazeminato.7799. Beta. White Angel of Orelon. Chapter 8. Getting started. The same day. Hokage Tower. Naruto was feeling quite light after the meeting with the Godame. He was debating with himself for a while now. Topic was the decision he made in the morning. He thought that it was important for his team to understand as well as trust each other. Some would think why he did not nominate Shikamaru for the post of his advisor. The reason was simple in his mind. Shikamaru was leader of Team Beta, the second strongest team formed in the morning. He would be occupied by the teamwork training with his new teammates. It was not as if Naruto was underestimating Shikamaru's strategic skills. Naruto was pretty much convinced that with him and Neji on the team, they would be able to function properly. After all, Neji was smart too, the rookie of the year of his session. His musing was interrupted by the arrival of Ino in his office. Ino was dressed in her usual purple clothing. When he caught sight of Ino, Naruto just stared at her and couldn't help but marvel at the sheer beauty she truly was. Namikaze-sama, I will be starting my job as your secretary from now. Is there anything you require? Asked Ino. Naruto could see that she was trying very hard to keep herself professional in front of him. She wanted to be the best secretary the handsome blonde could have gotten. Naruto frowned when she addressed him as Namikaze-sama instead of Naruto. Yes, my dear. I have one order, one request, and one question for you, said Naruto. Ino, who was not expecting this kind of reply, gave him her full attention. Anything you need, Namikaze-sama, she said again, encouraging him to explain himself. First, the request. Please call me Naruto, idiot, baka, or anything of your liking. Just don't use such formal names with me, said Naruto. Be but Namikaze-sa. Ino, you are a childhood friend and I would like for you to behave like one with me. I don't want respectful bows from my close friends. At the word, close friends, Ino quickly blushed and tried to hide her cheeks behind the folder she was holding.
Alalikt Naruto.
Ah, much better. See, there is no more tension in the office now, is there? Naruto asked, smiling. What about the order and the question, Naruto? Ino asked, stuttering a little. Yes, about the order. I want you to call a shinobi council meeting on my behalf in an hour. I have some things to discuss with the officials and the clan heads, answered Naruto. Ino nodded quickly, writing down the details of the order given to her. And for the question that I wanted to ask you, actually, I have been playing with the idea for a while now. I wanted to ask you this from the first moment I saw you at my return from the trip. Yamanaka Ino would like to go out on a date with me? I don't know, let's say this evening. Naruto expected an answer in a matter of seconds, but Ino's brain was not responding after hearing the question. I am waiting for the reply, Naruto mentioned, which in turn jerked her brain back to functioning. Just as Naruto thought that he would now get the answer, Ino pulled a hinata in front of him and fainted. Man, why do girls always faint in front of me? Naruto mentally complained. He sighed and made a hand motion. Tenten quickly appeared in front of him, ready to carry out any order her team leader will give here. Naruto sighed again at the stoic face of his other female teammate. It was clear that Tenten was upset with Naruto for asking Ino out instead of her. "You heard what I said to Ino about the council, right?" asked Naruto. When Tenten only nodded, he became aware of the fact that he needed to handle this situation at the very moment. All right. Tenten, would you like to go on a date with me tomorrow evening?" When Tenten gave him a suspicious look, he decided to elaborate. "I am assuming that Ino was willing to go out with me, that's why I am occupied in the evening. But, as you know, I fall under the Clan Restoration Act. Hence, I will need more than 4 wives at the very least." Now Tenten was dancing with joy in her mind but kept her composure in front of Naruto. Alright, I will go on a date with you," she said.
Thanks, I guess.
"Anyways, please carry out the order I gave to Ino in her place, will ya?" Naruto requested, scratching his head, grinning all the time. Tenten exited the office with a noticeable skip in her steps. When she was out of the office, Naruto stood up from his seat and made his way to Ino's body. He quickly lifted her off the floor and placed her on the office sofa in the corner of his office. He made sure that she would not fall off the sofa. When he was about to move back to his seat, he stopped and noticed how peaceful she looked, sleeping, or in this case unconscious. "You have grown into a fine female specimen. Maybe, just maybe, there could be more than just friendship between us. You know, Naruto, you two will make a fine couple. I am sure of it," Neji commented, suddenly appearing out of the shadows. "Yeah, I know, but we will see where it leads us. I want to date the women I am going to marry in the future," replied Naruto. "Yeah, but make sure to take Tenten on her date tomorrow evening. Try to give her some much-needed attention as well. She may look like a tomboy from outside, but in reality, she is as soft as a newborn infant," Neji advised, showing his concern for his longtime teammate. Naruto could only nod at it dumbly. He never knew Neji cared for Tenten so much. Well, everyone can change with time, and Neji was willing to change for the better. 1 hour later, Council Hall. Every clan head was present along with Tsunade. The elders were present as well. There was murmuring among the people present. Everyone was wondering why the ANBU commander felt like to call a shinobi council meeting on his first day in office. Suddenly the gates of the hall flew open and in walked 10 people with their heads high. These were the civil councilors of Konoha. They walked inside the hall as they owned the very place. When they were seated in their side of the hall, one of them felt it necessary to open his mouth. "Why were we, the civil councilors, not informed of this meeting?" he demanded to know. Tsunade was about to answer the question when Hayashi answered for her. "Because this is a shinobi council meeting. This is bullshit. We are counselors as well. We should be informed about every meeting." The clan heads just ignored this comment and started to talk among themselves. Suddenly the ANBU on the gate said so that everyone could hear. "The ANBU commander, Namike-sama, is arriving." Naruto entered the halls and took his seat beside Tsunade and Shikaku, the Jonin commander. Neji and Tenten entered along with Ino. Ino went to stand behind Naruto and Neji, and Tenten disappeared in the shadows. "Well, Naruto, will you mind telling us why you have called this meeting?" asked Tsunade. Naruto turned towards the civil side and frowned. "What are you guys doing here?" he asked with an edge in his voice. "We are here because this is a council meeting and you forgot to send the message to us," stated Mabuki Haruno. "I didn't forget anything. You weren't needed here," Naruto declared in a bored tone. "What? How dare you disrespect us? We are the council, boy. You don't have to tell us what to do," shouted an overly fat counselor. "Shut the fuck up. You all are just dumb asses and already have a step in your grave. This is the last time I am going to say this. Never, and I mean never, come to the council when not called. Otherwise it will be my ANBU who will deal with you," Naruto promised with a look that made it clear he was deadly serious. The civil councilors shivered at the threat. It was clear that all the ANBU present in the hall would be more than happy to comply. "Now then, if you will please tell me who was the one to inform you about this meeting?" asked Naruto. "The ANBU stationed at the gate, Borsan," Mabuki answered, shaking badly. Naruto turned his head towards the indicated ANBU. There he was, just near the entrance of the council hall. "Bore," said Naruto in a very calm tone. The ANBU, on hearing the commander call him, appeared in front of Naruto, kneeling.
Hi, Commander-sama.
"Why did you think that it would be a good idea to inform these counselors without consulting me?" asked Naruto in a threatening tone. "When you ordered Tenten-san to inform only the clan heads and the elders, I thought that you must have forgot to mention the civil counselors and immediately left to inform them about the council meeting and its timing." The ANBU answered, already expecting a promotion to ANBU captain. "So, let me get this straight, you eavesdropped on the conversation of your superior, left your post of duty without an order, risked the confidential information about a shinobi meeting." The ANBU paled at what his superior pointed out. "All in all, you made 3 grave mistakes. For every mistake I will demote you once." Now the ANBU had a look of horror on his face behind the mask. For first from ANBU to Jonin, for second from Jonin to Chunin, and for third from Chunin to Genin. Before the ANBU could say anything, Naruto motioned with his hand and 2 ANBUs appeared and took away the newly demoted Genin. All the civilians were looking at Naruto in fear, whereas all the ANBU swore, then and there, that they will never go against their new commander. "I take that this new Genin will not pose any problem to you, Hokage-sama?" asked Naruto, inclining his head towards the door. "Not at all, Naruto. I can use a Genin of an ANBU's caliber," replied Tsunade. She was proud of how Naruto handled the situation and made sure that the civil council will know their places in the future. "Now, as you all civilians are already here, get on with your whining," said Tsunade. "Hokage-sama, the Uchiha clan, with the support of the civil council, demands that Uzumaki-san is ordered to hand over the 3 weapons to Sasuke-sama. The weapons he used are too much powerful to be wielded by someone like him. Only an elite, like Sasuke-sama, should wield it," said Mabuki Haruno. She was still upset with Naruto for declining Sakura for the Clan Restoration Act. "Those swords and gunbai are family heirloom. I said the same during the battle. I am not going to repeat it. Sasuke will not be able to wield them because someone with so much hatred in their heart cannot even lift any of those weapons. That is the first security feature of the weapons," Naruto pointed out, glaring at Mabuki and leaking killing intent. The killing intent leaked by Naruto was so heavy that cracks started to appear on the floor and walls. Seeing that Naruto was getting angry, Ino placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. The killing intent instantly disappeared and Naruto took a deep breath and leaned back in his seat. He turned around and gave Ino a grateful smile. Tsunade saw all this and smirked inwards. "You too? Huh? Good for you, Gaki." At the failed attempt, another counselor burst out. "But Sasuke-sama is the Uchiha clan head. He was cut short when Tsunade started. "He is not a clan head. Either the conditions for that position are an age of at least 18 years or second, the person must be a jonin. Sasuke does not fulfill any of the requirements." At this, all the counselors turned their heads towards Naruto. Naruto just raised an eyebrow and asked, "What? Why are you here then?" asked Mabuki. "Do I look like a clan head?" Naruto asked back. When most of them nodded, he sighed. "I am a council member because I am the ANBU commander, not as the clan head of either Uzumaki or Namake's clan," Naruto answered in a bored tone. When no one said anything, Naruto started to become impatient and suddenly said, "If that's all the civil council wanted to discuss, then I would like to request them to leave the chamber now. The Shinobi Council meeting is about to commence." Before any civilian could protest, ANBU guards appeared and escorted them out. "Now Namake's Dano, what was the real reason for this meeting, if I may ask?" asked Hayashi in his ever-stoic tone. "Ah yes, Hayashi-san, you see I just took over the office today morning. So as any new commander, I started to go over the stats of our military." Everyone nodded. It was common sense for any new commander to know about his military. "I noted that even if our military power is second to none, we still have a small shinobi corps and ANBU foundation." Everyone was shocked to hear it. For their village to have small military prowess was a depressing problem. If the information and details of the fall of military prowess of Konoha were to reach Kumo, or worse, IWA, then it would be disastrous. What do you mean? Surely Konoha's military power is not that bad, Koharu inquired. It is advisor. I checked and found out that the death rate of Konoha shinobis is gradually increasing. Currently we have 1,000 genin, 700 chunin, 400 jonin, 100 elite jonin, 50 tokubetsu jonin, and 300 ANBUs. Overall, we only have about 2,500 shinobis. That was quite low. Even after the Kyuubi attack, the village had 3,000 shinobis ready to fight. The level of Konoha's power was surely declining. But I have a solution for that, Naruto announced, ready to play his trump card. What would that be, Namikaze-sama? Hamura asked, suddenly respectful towards the blonde. Naruto raised an eyebrow at the respect but replied, I can raise the numbers to 5,000. What? How? Tell us. Came the demand from everyone. Even Danzo was interested in what the blonde was planning. First, I want a certain force under my control, Naruto stated. Everyone started to think what force was he talking about. Then suddenly Shikaku realized something. Don't tell me you are talking about the power of the Kyuubi? He asked. Everyone gasped at this. The power of Kyuubi was like a nightmare. If the blonde gained control over the said power, then he will be unstoppable. No, not that power, even though I can already control it. I want dash. His eyes scanned everyone in the hall and suddenly he stopped at Danzo. Root. Danzo's eyes widened. How? How can this boy know about his root? Root is a secret organization. Hidden from the world. Hidden from Konoha. I created it for my own purpose, Danzo thought frantically. Tsunade clenched her fists. Her blood was boiling and she was leaking heavy killing intent. She turned her head and glared at the elders. Especially Shimura Danzo. That old bag of rotten bones managed to keep his organization's dirty works hidden from her. That piece of shit, she will enjoy giving Naruto control of Root. Everyone else was murmuring among each other. The Root was ordered to be disbanded by the Yondaime before his sacrifice, and the Sandaime did the paperwork for the order. If Root was still functioning, which from the look of Naruto, Danzo, and Tsunade it was, then Danzo was in deep shit. What do you mean, boy? Root has been disbanded for years now, Danzo declared through clenched teeth. This was a tight situation for him. If Naruto proved that his Root was still functioning in the shadows after the disbanding orders by not one but two previous Hokages, he will be doomed. Oh, if you are confident that Root is no longer in the picture, then you can easily answer this. Why do we only have 2,500 shinobi in the village, when there are 3,500 registered as a professional shinobi in the civil records? Naruto asked firmly. Tsunade was confused at this question, so were the clan heads. What do you mean, Namikaze Dano? Asked Inoichi. When I saw the number of our shinobi, I called for the civil records. To my astonishment, there are about 3,500 shinobi registrations, excluding the missing nins and retired ones. Now 2,500 Sato village shinobi plus 500 border patrolling shinobi of Konoha. 3,000 in total. The remaining 500 are. Naruto looked towards Danzo with narrowed eyes. Everyone followed his gaze towards a sweating Danzo. I will repeat it once and only once. Hand over the command of Root to me, Naruto demanded in a calm yet threatening tone. I will not give you my Root. Yes, the Root is still functional. But don't you all forget that it is my Root which is responsible for Konoha being the most powerful Sato. It was Root which dealt with the most shinobi in Orochimaru's invasion and dash. And it was Root which helped Orochimaru flee in the end of the invasion. All because you wanted to become Godame. Don't push me, Danzo, or I will not hesitate in revealing all the dark secrets about you and those bandages of yours, shouted Naruto, finally losing his cool and standing up from the seat. Danzo paled at the mention of his bandages. Surely, this brat wouldn't know about his most guarded secret. Still, Danzo was in no position to counter Naruto's words. After glaring at Naruto for a full minute, all the while leaking killing intent aimed at the blonde, he finally asked, What do you intend to do with Root? I am going to use it to take over a village. This made the already shocked council go wild. What? What do you mean, take over a village? Shouted a baffled Aburame Shibi. Chaos. The judgment day is here. And Aburame, especially Shibi, shouted. This made Akimichi Choza to suck in his belly, Shikaku to wake from his council nap, and Inuzuka Itsum to cry in disbelief. Inoichi started to slap himself to get him out of this dream, whereas nearly half of others present started to make ram seals and shout, Kai, Kai, Kai. Damn it, what a powerful genjutsu. For Christ's sake KKKII. Naruto was finding it quite funny. Tsunade had a look of stupidity on her face. All this turned back to normal when Hayashi let out a girlish scream, Kaya! All present deadpanned at the behavior of the clan heads. Cough cough. I apologize. I thought my Byakugan was caught in a genjutsu. Everyone's sweat dropped at this. Most of them shot him a look of, yeah right punk. As I was saying before, the ahem, certainly entertaining show, I need Root to take over a village. When Tsunade started to open her mouth, Naruto stopped her. I was saying that there is a small village in the east of Konoha called the Crop Village. Everyone nodded at this. They had heard about the village. That village was going to make an alliance with Konoha when they suddenly stopped sending replies to Konoha's hawks. Yes, their leader, Tsubaki-san, was in Konoha last year to form an alliance, but they suddenly stopped responding to our messages, Tsunade confirmed. That's because Tsubaki-san is dead, Naruto stated as a matter of fact. What? How? When? Asked a shocked Tsunade. 10 months ago, an AIM shinobi claiming to be a student of Hanzo, the salamander, came to the village and challenged Tsubaki-san. I don't have to tell you the outcome. In the end, I will use Root to gain control of that village, and we will get resources as well as a military boost of 1,500 shinobis. That is a good idea, but what will you do about shinobi duties? They are still quite a distance away from Konoha, asked Shikaku. What about we let the village shift in the back of the Hokage monument? Asked Naruto. We do have a lot of extra land there. It will solve the distance problem and will also make them feel safer under the protection of Konoha, Tsunade pondered. When everyone nodded and signaled their agreement, Tsunade made it an official decision of council. She will do the paperwork later. Then from now on, Root is to follow Naruto's orders, not Danzo's. Is that clear? She announced, looking at Danzo. His plan is good and in benefit of Konoha. All right, I will stick with them for now. Danzo mentally calculated and replied, Clear. Good. Anything else? When no one said anything, she turned towards Naruto. I will meet you in your office later in the day, Hokage-sama, Naruto promised before she had to voice it. She nodded and dismissed the meeting. Everyone was relieved for the end of the meeting, as the shocks they received in today's meeting were more than enough to keep them occupied for a month. An hour later, Naruto's office. Naruto was seated in his office. It was 1 in the afternoon and the sun was over the head of everyone. He yawned and decided to go for lunch and catch up with his friends. He motioned Tenten from the shadows. She appeared in front of him. Tenchan, please call every friend of mine to Ichiraku's stand. I want to catch up with everyone. All right, Naruto-kun, said Tenten smiling. Just as she was about to turn, a Root Anbu appeared in front of Naruto in kneeling position. Namike-sama, Root is ready for you to take under your command. Tenten narrowed her eyes at the new arrival. There was something familiar with this Anbu. But before she could dwell on it any more, Naruto ushered her to carry out her order. Once Tenten was gone, Naruto turned towards the Anbu and said, Sai, how are you? The Anbu stiffened. How can Naruto know about his identity? He was an elite Root operative, for crying out loud. Upon noticing the surprise of the Anbu, Naruto smirked inwards. Don't be surprised. I have a habit to notice tiny details. What gave you away was your skin. I have only seen one person with that kind of skin. You are one of a kind, that's for sure. Sai could only stare stoically at his new commander. Naruto noticed that Sai was not interested in friendly chit-chat. All right, I will not keep you waiting. Go find Yamato in the Hokage's office next door and ask him what to do. I have already told him what the first few missions for Root are. Come back tomorrow morning. I have something to discuss with you. Sai only bowed and disappeared in thin air. Naruto only sighed for almost 100th time today. This is proving to be a long day. Naruto quickly gathered his belongings from his desk and motioned Neji and Tenten to follow him. While leaving the office, he turned to one of the ANBU guarding his office entrance. I am going out for lunch. If someone comes looking for me, tell them to get an appointment for tomorrow. The ANBU nodded and replies, HAI. Naruto turned to leave, only to stop in his tracks. Neji and Tenten also turned to inquire his reasons. Did you have lunch? Naruto asked. Not yet, sir. I have this post assigned to me until late evening, replied the ANBU. Well then have someone replace you while you have your lunch. I don't want my ninjas to skip meals or go on dieting now, do I? Naruto asked jokingly. On watching the ANBU hesitate, Naruto came forward and placed a supportive hand on his shoulder. What is your name? Sir, I know you are not allowed to reveal your name, but I insist.
Kudo Himarusia.
All right, Kudo-san. I order you to have your lunch in the next half an hour. The ANBU's eyes widened behind the mask and he stuttered, Hi, yes, sir. Good, now if you go, I will leave a clone to do the work in my stead. I look forward to seeing your skills in battlefield, Kudo-san. Naruto stated and left with his two friends in tow. Naruto never managed to get the glimpse of horror on the face of the ANBU. Unknown to him, after what he did to the ANBUs in his trial battle, no sane ANBU would try to test her abilities against him. After some time, at Ichiraku's ramen stand, Naruto reached his favorite ramen stand in 10 minutes with both his friends. When he arrived, he was greeted by the sight of all of his friends sitting at a large table in the restaurant. Apparently, Ichiraku has expanded their business while Naruto was away on his training trip. Now it was a 2-story restaurant with a small staff of 5 waiters and waitresses. Old man Ichiraku also employed a new pair of chefs to help him in the kitchen. Ayam could be seen sitting at the entrance to welcome the customers. Here, Naruto-kun, Ino called out, waving her hand over her head to signal their position. Naruto joined everyone on the large table in the middle. There were Team 10, Team 9 and Team 8 along with their senseis. The only member of Team 7 present was Kakashi. So, not that I am complaining, but why did you call us over here, Naruto? Asked Asuma with a cigarette between his lips. At this, everyone turned their heads towards Naruto, who gave a nervous chuckle. Well, you see, I was gone for a couple of years or so. Thus, I wanted to know about what happened in Konoha during my training trip. I wanted to know about the achievements you all made and special occasions that I should know about. Everyone nodded at the logic. It was good to know that even if Naruto was now a force to reckon with on the battlefield, he was still the caring friend they all knew. Oh, I will tell you, Naruto-kun. What about our Chunin exams? Ino asked excitedly. Naruto just shrugged and nodded. I am all ears, Ino-chan. And so Ino started the story about how they all took the Chunin exams again. Sasuke was promoted by the council just after the invasion, thus leaving only Sakura on Team 7. As Shikamaru was promoted as well, Team 10 was down by 1 member too. Hence, Tsunade assigned Sakura to Team 10 for the Chunin exams. Fortunately, there were no preliminaries this time and they all made it to the finals. In the finals, they fought some very powerful genins of foreign villages and succeeded in pulling through it. And then the next day, Tsunade-sama called us to Hokage Tower, where we received our Chunin vests. Ah, I see. I know I am late by about 2.5 years, but congrats everyone. You all earned that promotion. Naruto congratulated, giving them a true smile. Everyone nodded and thanked him for his words. Suddenly Ino jumped and pointed at Naruto. You never told us about your Chunin exams. Naruto raised an eyebrow at that. Sorry, Ino, everyone. The information regarding my promotions are confidential. Can't tell you even if I want to. Before Ino could say anything else, Kakashi suddenly stood up and asked, Everyone, mind if I borrow Naruto for a moment? When everyone shrugged, he motioned Naruto to follow him to a nearby table. When both of them were at the table, Kakashi began. Naruto, I don't know how to say this, but I am very sorry for being the type of sensei I was to you. I know I neglected you and only focused on Sasuke, and for that I am sorry. Kakashi watched, as Naruto's face remained expressionless. Not that Kakashi expected him to show any. Sighing, Kakashi continued. I always wanted to teach you too. Believe me, I really did. But the council stopped me from doing so. They ordered me to only train Sasuke and stunt your progress as a ninja. I wanted to train you so much, as I knew that you were my sensei's son. But they wanted to make sure that the last loyal pair of Sharingan remained in Konoha. They threatened to transfer you to another team. I couldn't allow that, as your new sensei may have been one of those demon haters. I know I am a terrible teacher and I dash. Naruto suddenly interjected. Sensei, you taught me something very important. Those who abandon rules are trash, but those who abandon their comrades are worse than trash. That is something a terrible teacher cannot hope to teach. You taught me teamwork. You did what you could, and that's enough for me. Kakashi only felt pride on hearing his student's words. Thank you, Naruto, thank you very much. My life is full of failures and I lost many dear ones due to said failures. But I will not fail you. If you ever need me for anything, anything, just call me. Actually, there is something I want from you, Naruto mentioned, smiling. Kakashi was surprised but composed himself. Of course, what do you want from me? Naruto just smiled. I want your word that you will join the ANBU under my command. Kakashi was shocked. He left ANBU so that he could forget about his failures. The same reason he joined in the first place. But if joining the ANBU back would help Naruto in any way, then he will do it. He owed Naruto that much at the very least. Okay. Just for you, I will rejoin the ANBU. Good. It's good to hear that from you, sensei. Now I can finally see the legendary Sharingan no Kakashi as the feared Konoha ANBU Captain Inu. Ah, so you know about my career's past. So when do I start? What about now? Naruto asked, smiling. Wait, are you serious? Of course, now after the party. Haul your ass to my office and receive your uniform from my clone. Alright, I will. And your first mission is to kill the ANBU guarding my office doors. Done. 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 I have not much to say, so you know the drill, read and review. Finally got a beta. Yeah.
Yane.
Namikaze Minato .7799 out. Hemaru Senkai. Happy face, happy face, happy face, happy face, happy face, happy face, happy face 2018 happy face, happy face, happy face, happy face, happy face, happy face, happy face carrot. Happy Christmas, everyone. Also, Happy New Year. May this year bring you lots of happiness and love. The poll regarding Naruto summons is closed now along with 2017 calendar. Result: Dagons, Tigers, Demons, Bijus, they will be treated as same. Now let's get started. Chapter 9. The man named Hemaru Senki's Beta White Angel of Orelon. Naruto was standing in front of a one-way observation glass in Konoha's interrogation department. On the other side of the glass was Kudo, or what was left of him, the very same ANBU Naruto ordered to be eliminated. Kakashi was going to kill the ANBU as ordered, but Naruto then asked him to capture him instead. You never know what a good spy can provide you with after all. Tsunade was standing beside him with a grave expression on her face. She could never believe that a spy will be found inside her ANBU forces. From the look of it, Kudo may have been a sleeping cell. Sighing, she turned towards Naruto. Naruto noticed her action and already knew what she wanted to know. How did you dash? I have my ways, Bachan. She just narrowed her eyes at the blonde commander. And these ways of yours are? She questioned. You won't leave the topic until I tell you, right? Do I have to repeat myself, Naruto? Asked an annoyed Godame. Fine. When I started a friendly conversation with the guy over there this afternoon outside my office, he was trying to act professionally. So to investigate, I asked him his name. He refused to tell me the name, even though as the ANBU commander I already know every ANBU by their real name. Tsunade was puzzled. The brat was not telling the important info. Just get to the point, Naruto. Alright, geez, give me a break. Anyways, I placed my hand on his shoulder while requesting his name again. My hand on his shoulder was taken as an intimate gesture by him, and he started to sweat. He was scared and spilled the beans by telling me his real name, Kudo Hemaru. Tsunade leaned in. And the Hemaru clan is a resident clan of AIM. No Hemaru can be found in Hai no Kuni, much less in Konoha. I'll just cut the crap. In the end, the result is in front of you. An AIM spy in form of bloody mess. Tsunade was gaping openly now. Just a hand on the shoulder and boom, game over. Naruto was never going to stop surprising her. Kakashi was standing in the corner, discussing the result of interrogation with Ibiki. Apparently, Kudo was in Konoha for about 2 years. He was already leaking confidential information for months now. Maybe that was the reason behind the increased attacks on Konoha squads outside the walls of Konoha. He also confirmed that he was going to leak the information regarding Naruto and his heritage as well as position in 2 days. Kakashi turned towards the Godame and the ANBU commander to inform them about the results. After the briefing from Kakashi, Naruto thanked him and turned towards the door. He was about to go and prepare for his date with Ino in the evening but was stopped when Anko came in the room. After Ibiki was finished with Kudo, Anko had insisted that she wanted to use some of her tricks on him. It was a good decision that Tsunade allowed it because from the look on Anko's face she found something important. "What is it, Anko?" asked Tsunade as Naruto stopped at the door with his hand on the knob. He said that he was sent here by an AIM nin. Apparently, the same AIM nin who now rules Crop Village. Tsunade's eyes widened. If what Anko said was true, then this AIM nin was a disturbing character. To have the balls to plant a spy in the most powerful military establishment of elemental nations. This guy was either very dangerous or a big fool. Naruto, on the other hand, was getting angry. The situation of Crop Village was getting out of control. This new leader was something else that Naruto knew. This type of action from him required a serious action from Konoha's side as well. "Anything else, Anko?" asked Naruto seriously. Tsunade now knew that Naruto was going to do something. "Yeah, he also said something about his father going to make us pay for what we did to him." "His father?" asked Kakashi. "Yeah, it seems that he is the son of the new leader of Crop Village. He told me his father's name. Something like Hemaru Senkei." "Hemaru Senkei," Naruto muttered under his breath. Tsunade noticed this reaction on his part and questioned. "You know him?" "No, I don't. I just remembered a report of Jiraiya-sensei's spy network. It was reported that a guy named Hemaru Senkei was trying to gain a position in Akatsuki a couple of years back," Naruto answered, earning shocked and concerned looks from everyone present. "Well, now we know that they refused him, eh?" said Kakashi, chuckling. Naruto chuckled as well but stopped on noticing the glare both of them were receiving from an enraged Tsunade. "If you two are done fooling around, shall we discuss our next course of action?" asked Tsunade. "Not here, Bachan. Let's head to my office first, shall we?" Naruto suggested. On Tsunade's approving nod, Naruto quickly grabbed all 3 of them and disappeared in a flash. Naruto's office. 5:40 p.m. Naruto appeared in a flash with his passengers. Naruto was greeted by the sight of Neji pacing around in his office with a frown on his face. On seeing Naruto appear in a flash, Neji started to complain. "Naruto, you little sh-." Neji quickly controlled himself on seeing Tsunade there and coughed. "Naruto, where were you for the last hour?" "I was getting pounced by questions from everyone," the annoyed Hyuga complained. Naruto chuckled nervously and apologized for his absence. "Gomen Neji, I was the interrogation department of Konoha. Some important stuff came up, so I want you to go and get Ino and Tenten here. I want to discuss something with you all." Neji realized the seriousness of the situation and quickly nodded before disappearing in a leaf shunshin. Naruto signaled the root ANBU in his room to fetch Sai as well, and the ANBU disappeared in shadows after receiving his orders. "What are your intentions with this situation, Naruto?" asked Kakashi. Tsunade nodded as well and turned towards her successor for some answers. "I think this action on Hemaru's behalf needs a serious retaliation from Konoha. We are the most powerful hidden village out of the Great Five. Something like this should not be ignored by us. Bachan will agree with me on this one," Naruto stated in a grave tone with a frown on his face. Even so, what are you trying to do? From what I know, we must discuss this with the council and use a democratic approach to handle this situation, Tsunade commented. This is no longer a democratic matter, Bachan. It's far from it now, and I will handle it personally. You are forgetting what was discussed in the last council meeting. Why I asked for root, replied Naruto. Tsunade's eyes widened. You mean? Yes, we are taking down Crop Village. This will be a joint operation between ANBU Black OPS and Root. Hemaru bit off more than he can chew. It's time we remind him why Konoha is feared throughout the elemental nations. I will make an example out him for the rest of the world. No one messes with Konoha as long as I am here, said Naruto. Before Tsunade could say anything, Squad Alpha's remaining 3 members walked in along with Sai. All 4 of them stood in attention in front of the village leader and their commander/squad leader. Naruto ignored them for a second and turned towards Tsunade. I will still need your approval for this type of military action, Hokage-sama, said Naruto in a professional tone. Tsunade toyed with the idea for a while. On one hand, this action will not sit well with Kumo and IWA. They were sure to take it as an offending or alarming military move. Konoha could not afford that right now. On the other hand, this kind of military breach was alarming as well. Konoha praised itself on its superior defenses as well as security, courtesy of the late Uzumaki clan. If she stopped Naruto now, Konoha would save the peace, but the danger of an infiltration or worse, invasion would increase. They were not going to experience another repeat of Chunin exams. Not on her watch. If she allowed Naruto his plan, then they would receive more military power, which was never a bad thing for a hidden village. Even though there would be some tension between the Great Five, but Crop Village was in Hai no Kuni. No one would be able to blame Konoha for anything. She had made her decision. All right, I give you my permission, but this assignment will remain a S-ranked secret until it is over. Definitely, as you wish, Naruto confirmed, and then turned towards the 4 shinobi and immediately got their attention. Naruto turned towards Sai and said, Go and tell your root to prepare for the task we discussed it the afternoon. We are going to head out tonight. Meet us outside the walls of the north side of the village.
Sai nodded.
Hi, right away, sir, said Sai, and he disappeared in a leaf shunshin. Naruto turned towards his squad mates. Sorry, girls, but our dates will have to wait. This is a matter of village security. I hope you understand. Naruto apologized. When both the girls nodded, he continued. Today we discovered an AIM spy in our shinobi ranks, and not just on any post. An ANBU agent. Naruto explained, gaining looks of shock and surprise from his friends. He was captured by Kakashi-sensei and later interrogated by Ibiki and Anko. We found out that he was the reason behind the increased attacks on Konoha shinobi squads outside the village. He also confirmed that he was going to leak information regarding my heritage and position in 2 days. Niji interjected. Then it is good that we got him before he could do that. Naruto added, when the mansion's gates opened and abducted women were united with their families. Naruto couldn't help but smile as he thought. I finally did something important. To-san, Ka-san, I hope you are proud of me. I promise this will not be the last of it. Databeo. The end. Notice. Sorry to inform you guys that this story is going on hiatus/hiatus whatever. Next update will be coming in the last week of March. Believe it. Also, I am posting a new story with this note. Return of Pain. Please check it out too. Reasons for this. Lack of reviews, though I know that the views and visitors are high. Time management problems on my side. This awesome game I am playing right now. My practical exams from February 1st. My semester-ending exams in March. I have heard that an author must give breaks in updates to build suspense. Lastly, I have almost completed the next chapter, so I may update in the middle of February as well. So add it in your follows and keep an eye out.
Yane.
Trouble again? Hooray! 43k plus hits. I love you guys. I mean, this story had 35k words and already received 42k plus hits. There are more hits than words I have written. Awesome. Sorry for the delay. I know I had promised to release the 10th chapter in the last week of March, but to be frank, I am not good at writing romance and struggled for a long time. Finally, It took me a whole lot of time to complete this chapter and edit it again and again and again. Those of you who have read my new story, The Return of Pain, I have already posted next 2 chapters there, and if you're interested, well, you know what I mean. Now time for answering some reviews. Guest. Thanks, man. I know studies come first, that's why I went on this short hiatus, winky face. Guest 2. I know that this isn't the best fan fiction out there, and it's not even the best I can give you all, but at least try writing time instead of Tim in your reviews to give a better impression. First of all, you comment as a guest, and to top it off, guys like you never provide us with what you want and how to improve ourselves. I am gonna stop here before I write something you definitely won't like. Guest 3. Calling Naruto worthless without kurama? Are you nuts? Ever heard of the Sage Mode or Raisin Shuriken? I recommend you to watch the series again, my friend, and especially the Pain's Assault arc. Who knows, you'll see something that you missed the first time. As for taking Naruto from zero to hero, I started this with a medium Naruto. I am also going to elaborate his road to this much power. As for the Rinnegan, gaining Rinnegan has nothing to do with loneliness, dumb head. Erida 7 Kasuga. Yes, he could use Kamui, but let's face it, just teleporting inside the room would have been risky, as he was unaware of the room's occupants. Using Rasengan gave him the edge of inflicting fear in his enemy's heart. Nightwolf 423. Don't worry, once I am finished with a couple of upcoming chapters, I will make sure to add more about other villages as well. Helryo Uzugaku. Yes, Naruto will inherit the weaknesses of whatever bloodline he will use, and as for the Kyuubi's chakra mode, he will have go through tough trials to gain that power. Right now he doesn't have it. Pipathy Hippo. Beasted 22. Animaman. Game King 26. Guest 4 and many, many more. This is the answer. You all wanted the next chapter? Well, you are reading it right now. Alright, a quick note, as Naruto is quite powerful in this AU of mine, Akatsuki members will be getting a power boost as well. That means the Akatsuki will be a little more powerful. That's all, and thanks for the wait. So here we go. Disclaimer. I don't own Naruto, I barely own my laptop, so in your faces, lawyers. Chapter 10. My apologies, my lord, but Hokage-sama has requested your immediate presence in her office. Sir? Said the ANBU kneeling in front of Naruto. Squad Alpha was returning from their secret S-rank mission in the Crop Village. The performance of Rutenbu operatives had pleased Naruto quite a bit on the mission. According to him, the Root performed outstanding, not perfectly, but they came damn close. Danzo may be an old bag of bones in Naruto's eyes, but he sure as hell knew how to train a powerful shinobi. Said operatives were back in their secret base outside the village walls, training and waiting for any orders from Naruto. Naruto's expression remained emotionless. What is it about? Is it something Kakashi-sensei did? Asked Naruto. Ino and Tenten couldn't help but snigger at this. Even Niji gave a small smile. No, my lord. Kakashi-senpai performed your duties perfectly. It's something that only Hokage-sama will be able to tell you, answered the ANBU. Naruto turned towards his team and observed them for a moment. Niji was perfectly fine, whereas Tenten was only a little short on weapons, nothing else. As for Ino, she may have lost a couple of hair strands, nothing to worry about there. Alright team, it seems Bachan wants to discuss something important with us. I am afraid we'll have to go full speed or... On second thought, let me use Hiroshin and we'll be in her office in a flash, chimed Naruto. Everyone nodded and placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. Even the tired ANBU messenger stood to take the shortcut back to the village. Naruto closed his eyes and spread out his senses. Soon he found the hidden Hiroshin kunai in Tsunade's office and started to concentrate on it. Yellow lightning started to spark around him. In a yellow flash, they were gone from the forest floor. At the same time, somewhere outside Takigakure, in a dark cave, the cave was filled with darkness and a moist smell of a water body nearby. The sound of dripping water echoed throughout the cave. A large boulder blocked the entrance of the cave so that not even a single ray of light could enter it. In the middle of the space, a statue was sitting. The statue had its hands spread out with palms facing upwards. There were strange earrings present in the long ears of the statue. 10 tails were protruding out of its back, shrouding the ceiling of the cave. The statue had a blind fold on with 9 closed eyes. Suddenly, one by one, holographic figures started shimmer on the statue's fingertips. A total of 9 figures now stood on the fingers of the statue. All of these figures wore the same black cloaks with red clouds.
Hey Yasakers.
"What's your mother doing tonight, yeah?" shouted a silver-haired man of average height, a scythe placed comfortably on his right shoulder while he had a cocky smirk plastered to his face. "Oh, the priest is here, you still alive, baboon?" answered blonde-haired man with high ponytail. And so they started to bicker with each other without stopping to look at the irritated faces of everyone else. A figure with metallic purple eyes and an aura of superiority started while ignoring the fighting dough. "The time has come, my colleagues, my comrades and my subordinates. The hunt for the bijus is starting. We will capture all 9 bijus and use them to bring peace to this world of bloodshed and hatred. Our first prey resides in Sunagakure no Sato, the Godame Kazakage, Sabuko no Gara, Ichibi no Jinchuriki." All the other figures nodded when a figure with a long bang of blonde hair in front of his face turned towards his right and asked, "Sunagakure? Isn't that your former village Sasori-senpai, Achin?" The hunched figure on his right gave no sign regarding his question and just gave a short reply. "It is," stated the newly identified Sasori in a gruffly voice. "Why the long face then, Achin? You should be happy that the Kazakage is going to be hunted down by us," said the blonde figure, leaning towards Sasori. Before Sasori could say anything, the first figure interjected. "Deidara, shut your mouth and listen. Sasori and you are the closest to Suna right now. Also, Sasori's knowledge of Suna's defense and the desert around it will be useful in the mission. That is why I am assigning you this mission. Your objective is to incapacitate and capture the Ichibi Jinchuriki alive. Your methods of doing so are your headache, not my concern." "Hi, Leader-sama, but where should we deliver the Kazakage?" asked Sasori. The leader, after giving it a thought, replied, "The Akatsuki hideout situated in the west of Kaze no Kuni." "Understood," was the reply of the blonde man named Deidara. "Remember, after this, Suna should fear the red cloud cloaks of Akatsuki more than the Ichibi itself," ordered the leader. The duo nodded and shimmered away. The leader now turned towards the remaining figures and ordered, "While those 2 take care of Ichibi no Tanuki, Kakuzu, take care of the financial progress of our bounty hunts." Another figure with green pupils and red eyes nodded. "Itachi, take care of the matter regarding the whereabouts of all other Jinchuriki. Zetsu will take care of the Kyubi Jinchuriki's position." Dismissed. All the figures started disappearing one by one until only 3 figures remained. The only female of the group turned towards the leader and said, "Pain, this condition regarding the Kyubi Jinchuriki's sudden disappearance 3 years ago is concerning. We must locate him soon, otherwise all our labor in capturing other 8 bijus will be in vain. I hope you know what you are doing." Pain, the leader, turned around and faced the female. "Conan, I am doing what dash?" Before he could complete his sentence, a swirl appeared on the head of the statue, revealing another Akatsuki member with an orange mask with a hole in it for the right eye. "Conan, Conan, Conan, my dear angel, don't question the decisions made by Pain and me," said the newcomer. This made Conan frown a little, but she quickly composed herself. The statement didn't sit well with Pain, though. "I have given her the right to question any decision made by me, Madara," stated Pain emotionlessly. This statements made between the 3 people started a glaring contest between them, which made the 4th Akatsuki member to chuckle. Now, no need to get angry at each other. I think I should leave now before you 3 pounce me," said white half of the Zetsu. "That would be the best course of action for us. At least for now," added the black half as he started to sink in the ground. "Just start doing what you are supposed to do. I won't tolerate any delays, you know that, Pain. I will meet you later when I feel the need to," and with that Madara was sucked in another swirl, leaving no sign of him ever being present. "You shouldn't have taken my side, Pain," stated Conan while observing Pain closely. "I did what I judged to be right, nothing else. Now come, we must return back to aim," said Pain without making eye contact with his partner. Moreover, with that the last 2 figures in the cave vanished. Kanahagakure, Hokage Tower, Tsunade was massaging her temples as she waited for Squad Alpha to show up. From what she read in the report sent by Naruto, the mission was a success and went smoothly. That was good for Konoha as they got rid of someone like Senkei. They will also be receiving a significant boost in their military strength. The shinobis of Crop Village, though not as good as Konoha shinobis, were still trained seriously to protect their small village of farmers. Sometimes I think I should have just handed this damn hat to the Gaki. I am too young for this shit after all, thought a tense Tsunade. Suddenly a golden flash lit her room, and when her eyes adjusted themselves back for normal light, she saw the faces of Team Alpha and a sweating ANBU messenger. "Get your ass out of here now," ordered Tsunade, glaring at the ANBU who was about to take a seat in front of her. The ANBU quickly stumbled to his feet and shined away, but not before bowing to his village leader. Naruto stepped forward and asked, "So what do you need, Bachan?" Tsunade struggled to stop herself from punching Naruto through a wall for calling her that. After taking a long breath, she turned towards Naruto and faced Squad Alpha. "First of all, congratulations on completing the S-ranked mission." She congratulated the team of young ninjas. In response, Niji nodded, whereas the other 3 members of the team smiled. "Now, for the reason why I called you on such a short notice, 3 days ago when you all left for your mission, we received reports of sightings of a duo wearing black cloaks with red clouds," stated Tsunade in her most serious tone. Naruto suddenly stiffened. The tension radiating from him was not surprising for anyone in the room. "Naruto," were the thoughts of all 3 females in the room. "Where?" was the short question that escaped the lips of the young Jinchuriki. "Border of Kaze no Kuni and Takigakure. Possible destination was theorized to be Sunagakure," replied Tsunade with a critical eye on Naruto's reaction. "Nothing. No reaction. What the?" was the thought of Tsunade when suddenly Naruto spoke up. "And what were the actions taken by Konoha in the regards of this matter?" he asked. "I understood the graveness of the situation right away, and that's why I deployed Team Beta to investigate and possibly take out this duo. Their last report arrived this morning, and according to which, they are still tracking the duo. You know they are not strong enough to fight Akatsuki. Not a team of them, that's for sure," stated Naruto while his team gave him a look of confusion and hurt. Tsunade saw the looks and decided to have Naruto elaborate. "What do you mean by not strong enough?" she asked while crossing her fingers in front of her nose, her elbows resting on her desk. "What I mean is that I know that my friends, here and on Team Beta, are all powerful shinobi of Konoha. No doubt about it. But every member of Akatsuki is a S-ranked shinobi for a reason, and to top it off, they travel in pairs," exclaimed Naruto while turning to look out of the office window. Tsunade couldn't disagree with that. Naruto had a valid point, but still disregarding the abilities of her shinobis was not something she planned to do soon. "So what? Should I just let them all stay in the village and do D-rank missions until you deem them powerful enough to face the likes of Akatsuki in the outer world?" "Huh?" said Tsunade with an angry frown present on her face. Naruto gave no indication of replying, as his eyes remained focused on the village bustling with activities, more specifically on the happy and carefree expressions on all the villagers' faces. There was a lot going on in his mind: concern for Gaara, Team Beta, his own team and his village, anger on his own disability to help his friend when in need, and over everything else, Akatsuki. Sighing for the 100th time that day, Tsunade turned to address Team Alpha in front of him. "You all are going to Suna tomorrow evening ASAP, but stay on alert as I may have to send you in the field as an early reinforcement for Team Beta. So, I suggest you go back to your places and try to relax as much as you can in just 1 day dash. I want an extended off for my squad after tomorrow's mission. I may have the stamina of an Uzumaki." "They don't?" interjected Naruto without turning to look at Hokage.
All right, brat.
"You and your team will get your off after your next mission tomorrow," answered Tsunade as she tried to continue where she left off. "I don't want a break. I can perform well under stress. They are in need of rest. I requested an off for them," stated Naruto without a care in the world. Tsunade's eyebrow started to twitch dangerously as she tried to calm her nerves down. "Requested, you say? Sounded more like demanded to me," growled Tsunade as she struggled to control her temper from flaring. Naruto merely shrugged but turned to address his squad and smiled towards the 2 worried-looking females on it. Hey, Ino-chan, Ten-chan, I'll pick you at 7 this evening for our postponed date, if that's okay? He asked as his cheeks started get a little red. Both the girls gave him a wired look before glancing at each other. Tsunade decided it was enough now and started to speak. Now, Naruto, I don't think it's a good idea dash. Yes, off coursey. Thud. Everyone's attention was shifted to Niji as he fainted on the very spot he was standing for the last 10 minutes. A look of unreadable expression on his face while his cheeks had a dust of pink on them. What happened to him? Asked the other 3 members of Squad Alpha, which only made Tsunade to sweat drop. Get out! At the same time, with Team Beta, 2 figures in black cloaks with red clouds spotted, whispered Hinata as she informed her teammates about the discovery of their targets. Good. How far ahead? Asked Shikamaru as the gears in his brain started to function at lightning speed to start coming up with a plan suitable to their own abilities. About 1.5 miles ahead of us. They are moving at a slow pace, answered Hinata as she continued to focus ahead, her Byakugan blazing in the afternoon sunlight. Lee quickly started to tighten the white bandages around his wrists and fists as he heard about the close location of their enemy. Coming up with a strategy, Shikamaru turned to face Shino and started to give out his orders. Alright, this is what we are going to do. Hinata will continue to keep an eye out for any traps they may have set, all the while keeping tabs on their instantaneous location. Shino, send some of your Kakashi to scout ahead and if possible, eavesdrop on the conversation between the duo. It may provide us with valuable information, spoke Shikamaru in his leader mode before turning towards Lee. Lee, please refrain from shouting about youth or whatever comes to your mind. We have the element of surprise here and I would like to keep it that way for as long as possible. He almost pleaded, to which Lee gave him an innocent and confused look before grinning from ear to ear. Do I get to at least use Konoha Senpu on them when we attack? Asked Lee as he lifted his right leg in the air, demonstrating the said technique. Yes, you may, but first, stay calm and let us do the reckoning while you stay silent, answered Shikamaru as he struggled to stop himself from face-palming. Seriously, how thankful he was to get Asuma as his sensei. He was sure that Hinata and Shino were lucky as well to get Kurenai because Guy was just a hideous maniac who had a long-lasting maddening effect on his students, which left the famed Sharingan no Kakashi. Kakashi was the most powerful jonin of Konoha right now, but he was also the top ranker in the hit list of every woman of the village for his perversion, second only to Jiraiya-sama. Getting any of those 2 as his sensei was a part of his secret nightmare that he tried to ignore as much as possible. Both of them were best friends if what Asuma had told him was true. One was a lunatic, energetic, hideously dressing, eye-blinding, tooth-flashing and bowl-headed jonin, while the other one was a genius, lazy, face-masking and stylishly dressing jonin with gravity-defying silver hair. The only thing common in them, from what he had gathered, was that both of them were slave drivers when it came to training genins. Shaking his head to get it out of the thoughts of lunatic and stylish pair of jonin, he struggled to keep his eyes open when Lee flashed him an eye-blinding grin, his teeth shining dangerously. What kind of hellish technique was that? Blind the shit out of your enemy, no jutsu? Sighing, Shikamaru was pulled out of his thoughts when Shino suddenly stiffened. They have stopped, said Hinata as she continued to glance forward with concentration etched on her face. What is it, Shino? Asked Shikamaru as he gazed at his teammate's stiffened body. They know that we are following them, whispered Shino as he tried to overcome his shock. Eyes going wide, Shikamaru tried to comprehend the situation. How did they come to know of our presence? Every single one of us is suppressing our chakra, asked a confused Shikamaru, not expecting an answer from his teammates. Imagine his surprise when he got one. One of them is definitely an earth user and the other one is a moderate sensor. They detected my Kakashi when they were retreating back to me. The sudden shift of wind flow gave us out. I am sure they are standing there and waiting for us to come out, answered Shino as he gazed forwards at the 2 small figures visible on the horizon of a sand dune. Shit, we were exposed so easily. Hinata, check whether they have planted any kind of traps between there and our location? Asked Shikamaru as he tried to come up with a course of action in this sort of situation. Troublesome. Only if Naruto was here to fight with us. I could have thought up 100 scenarios to take them down with his help, thought Shikamaru as he struggled to find a single case of them coming out of this fight victorious. Their team was sent here as a scout team, nothing else, and to top it off, they were still struggling to start coordinating like a team. Sure, Hinata and Shino were experienced with working together, but without Kiba their normal combos and routine attacks won't work as nicely as expected. He was not ashamed to say this, that he was seriously wishing he had declined this mission and was watching clouds right now somewhere in Konoha. Fighting an A-ranked enemy, sure he will take care of it, take out an S-ranked enemy with the help of his teammates, even he will be hard-pressed, he'll manage somehow. But facing two S-ranked international criminals with a newly formed team, you must be joking. He will have to try his hardest to even get them out of this situation alive. Shino, take out the backup scroll, send it to Hokage-sama and immediately request back in the form of Team Alpha. Only that team can help us handle a situation like this one, said Shikamaru, without removing his gaze from the duo of Akatsuki barely visible from their position. Shino barely nodded and unsealed a hawk out of a sealing scroll. The hawk had a cloth tied around its neck with the emblem of Konoha shining in the middle. Shino quickly scribbled down the message of his leader and tied it around the leg of the hawk before requesting it to deliver the message to the Hokage as soon as possible. The hawk toke of towards the general direction of the greatest shinobi village. With the Akatsuki duo. What's taking them so long, Sasori-senpai? I mean, we've made it clear that we are aware of their position, yet these lousy brats are taking too long for my liking. HN? Complained Deidara as he glanced at the location of the shinobi team following them behind a desert bush. I think we must make our move first. I have waited long enough already and we have to take out the Kazekage as well. I hate waiting, was the reply of Sasori as he turned to face the enemy shinobi team. Just as they were about to start moving towards the bushes, a hawk toke off from behind the said vegetation. Narrowing his eyes at the blue-colored cloth tied around the hawk and the direction of the said messenger, Sasori immediately ordered Deidara. Deidara, take that hawk out, it's most likely carrying a message for backup request and from Konoha no less. This can spell trouble for us, warned Sasori as Deidara opened his hand and a bunch of clay birds toke off towards the speeding hawk. Just before the clay birds could reach the hawk and reduce it to ashes, a swamp of bugs came out of nowhere and captured the explosives, forcing the clay creatures to detonate on contact with them. An Aburame, I see, muttered Sasori as he started to move towards the no longer secret hiding spot of the Konoha team, closely followed by Deidara, who had his hands stuffed inside his pockets. Mendosuk, they are coming towards us. Get ready, everyone will have to fight for our survival here, warned/ordered Shikamaru as he steeled his resolve to stop daydreaming about Lovely Cloud and focus on the problem at hand. All right, here we, said Shikamaru as he jumped out of their hiding spot, closely followed by his team. They landed in unison in front of the cloaked figures, weapons drawn. Refrain from using any of your larger creations. We are in a safe guarded region of the desert and you'll only end up gaining the unneeded attention of nearby Suna posts, ordered Sasori as he expertly scanned the four figures in front of them. An Aburame, a Hyuga, two unknowns, all around the age of 16 to 18. Konoha sure is expert in planning team arrangements, thought Sasori as he planned to take the Hyuga and the spandex-wearing weirdo. I'll take the guy with the hood and that obvious leader. HN. Deidara perked up as his mouths on his hands chewed another set of explosives. Fine with me, but remember, just destroy them. We don't have all day, replied Sasori as his tail emerged from behind his body, shining in the sunlight like the deadly weapon it was. Deidara just grinned and slowly took out his left hand from his pockets, making the four Konoha Nins to tense up. His hand revealed no weapon contrary to their expectations. Instead, he pointed two fingers towards Shino and Shikamaru. You too, prepare yourselves because you are going to experience the real art. Art is an explosion. HN, he shouted with clear excitement. Akatsuki or not, he was still from IWA and anyone from IWA knew to hate the Konoha Nins for what the Yondaime did in the Third Shinobi World War. Our Mad Bomber was no exception. Immediately small tiny mosquitoes made of clay started coming out of his outstretched hand. The source of these mosquitoes was the grinning mouth present on his hand, still chewing out the creatures of destruction. Shikamaru and Shino immediately sprang into action as the Aburame tried to fend off the attack using his bugs. His ministrations were not fruitful, as only a single mosquito was enough to wreak havoc on the swarm of Kakashi present. The only word that came to Shikamaru's mind at that point of time was troublesome. Katsu. Boom. I have yet to take the body of a Hyuga for my experiments. Come, child. Let me show you why you should interfere with the business of those stronger than you, said Sasori as the metal tail on his back reared backwards, only to strike forwards with blinding speed. Hinata was stuck with defending against the lightning-fast lethal strikes of that cursed tail as it came down at her abdomen at blinding speed and accuracy. Gathering chakra in her hands, Hinata readied herself for the oncoming impact of the tail. Luckily, before it could touch her, a shout was heard throughout the desert. Konoha Senpu! Lee appeared in front Hinata, his body in mid-rotation as he completed his technique perfectly by slamming his right foot in the side of the tail, deflecting the attack on his comrade. Landing on Hinata's side, Lee gave her a grin and quickly disappeared in a green blur, speeding towards the stumbling Sasori. Hinata gathered up her courage and shot forward, intending to help the taijutsu user in his attacks against the S-ranked criminal. Shikamaru quickly switched on his radio collar and locked eyes with Hinata, who was in the middle of deflecting senbon needles shooting at Lee from Sasori's body. Shikamaru lightly tapped the radio collar on his neck and gave a sigh of relief when Hinata gave him a curt nod of understanding. He repeated the process with Shino and Lee, succeeding in establishing a connection between his team. Alright, from now on, Dam will be used to represent the radio communication. Lee. Start deflecting the tail strikes aimed at Hinata and draw that guy near me. Ordered Shikamaru as he took out a shuriken from his utility pouch. Looking sideways towards Shino, he realized that Shino was having a lot of trouble tackling the explosive insects that the clay user was throwing towards them. Damn, we are at a disadvantage here. If I am right, then that blonde guy is using Doton manipulation to make those dangerous creatures. None of us have lightning affinity and we seriously lack the knowledge to perform a Raitun jutsu, thought Shikamaru as he went over their options once again. He and Shino had Doton affinities, whereas Hinata had Suetun and Lee had none, which meant that they had no countermeasure to neutralize the explosives. Their only chance was to dodge the explosives and try to bid time. He is coming near you, Shikamaru. Do whatever you have in mind. Came the shout of Lee on the radio as Shikamaru looked up to see Lee flying towards with a bruise on his left arm, followed by that damn tail. Quickly relying on his reflexes, Shikamaru threw the shuriken at the tail. Sasori saw the shuriken coming at his tail at neck-breaking speed, but discarded it as nothing more than a desperate attempt to stop the tail from reducing them to mush. Just as he had deduced, the shuriken bounced off the tail on contact, but there was a problem. His tail was no longer obeying his command. Looking at the shinobi who had thrown the shuriken, Sasori saw him sitting on one knee with both of his hands in front of his face, forming a strange seal. Cage main success. Whispered Shikamaru as he gave a tiny smirk. Sasori observed that the shadow of the ninja was stretched across the desert sand and connected with his tails. Anara? Mused Sasori as he tried to somehow get his tail back under his control. Apparently, due to the lack of vegetation in the desert, there were absolutely no shadows around for Shikamaru to use as a linking road. That's why he had used that shuriken. Just as the shuriken was thrown, he had connected his shadow to that of the shurikens, which traveled all the way to the tails, giving him access to the required shadow possession jutsu's success. He was concentrating so hard on maintaining the jutsu that he missed the small glowing mosquito sitting on his shoulder. Lee saw this and moved to stop the incoming attack. Shikamaru! He shouted but failed to reach him in time. On the side of the fight, Deidara smirked in the middle of his battle with Shino. Raising his right hand to his lips, he made a ram seal and with a twinkle in his eyes. Katsu! Boom! Sand flew in all directions as the explosion rocked the desert. Every mosquito present in the area blew up with as much force as it could muster, resulting in a larger explosion which covered every shinobi present in the cloud of sand. As the cloud of dust started to settle, only two figures were standing, Deidara and Sasori. Walking forward, Deidara kicked an unconscious Shino in the side and chuckled to himself. Now his insects will never obey him, seeing how he sacrificed them without thinking twice. Hn. grinned Deidara as took out a kunai to finish his opponent, but Sasori stopped him. I don't know if you can feel them or not, but there is a large group of Suna patrolling shinobi heading in our direction. Thanks to your show just a minute ago, said Sasori as he turned to start walking in the direction of Suna. But at least let me kill them first, whined Deidara as he turned to give Sasori an irritated look. Leave them be. They will not interfere with our mission anymore. Besides, we don't want to attract a serious eye from any of the shinobi villages, let alone Konoha, answered Sasori as he continued to move forward. With a frown on his face, Deidara pocketed his kunai and gave the 4 lying forms of bleeding shinobi a once-over. Content with his handiwork, he gave a small grin and quickly turned around and caught up with his traveling companion. So what is the fighting style of the Godame Kazekage, huh? Any ideas? That evening, 6:55 p.m., Ino was currently sitting in front of her dressing mirror with an eyeliner in her delicate hands, giving light strokes of the cosmetic. She was trying her best to look as hot as possible. Naruto will be arriving in a few minutes and she wanted to gauge his reaction to her dating form. She was about to turn towards the drawer on her right when she heard the doorbell rang. Naruto's POV. Naruto was standing outside Ino's house as he tried to look as calm as possible, though inside he was sweating bullets.